I'm not smart.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
And I start to realize as I get through high school, I'm not going to be an athlete. I went to one football meeting. Everybody was 6 times bigger than I was. I felt like my brother's the toughest guy I know, and he'd come home with broken fingers and toes. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I go to college, Columbia College, Chicago. I come out at a really bad time, 81. The economy was tanked. It was bad. So it took me 2.5 years to break into commercial television where, it was a good time where a lot of stations around the country were hiring Black men as their weekend sports anchors locally. So I moved down to Mobile, Alabama, where my mother was certain I would be hung by somebody down there. I didn't even know where Mobile was. I didn't know it was a Gulf Coast city or anything. And I went down and I started my career there, but at that time, ESPN was still a fledgling network, 4 or 5 years old, and they would send out word that if you have some very interesting, different content, we may air it on SportsCenter, and we'll send you $200. So I did one report in Mobile. We had the National Turkey Calling Championships, and I did a report on this. It's unusual enough. And people are actually there calling turkeys and somebody's judging it. And another time I did a report on this women's softball team that had won 52 games in a row or something crazy. And they aired them both. So you split the money if you're an honest guy like me. And I hope my photographer's still alive, might be watching, but to split the money with him. And so we get an extra, $200 for those 2 reports. Next thing I know, somebody's on the phone. And they said, we'd like to bring you here to be one of our SportsCenter people. And I said, well, hell yeah. And my company said, hell no, you still have a year left on your contract. Oh. You're kidding me. I'm like, you're going to leave me here. So they did. They kept me there.
They held you there.
They held me there and they kept me there. But ESPN still saved the job.
Oh, wow.
For the next year. So I moved. I just had a little baby girl, 36 now. Just had a little baby girl and drove up from Mobile all the way up to Bristol and started my career at ESPN. And so it was just something that kind of happened. It probably couldn't happen that way again. I tell you what sold me there was what told me because I thought, man, Phil's coming down hard on Coach Nagy, right? And it's halftime. And they've had a special teams play and some kind of gadgety play, and they're up on the Packers at halftime. And they put the mic in Coach Nagy's face, and he says, I'm having fun. And I went, you shoe salesman. I'm like, what is that? You're supposed to tell the reporter, okay, we just got to keep this up. We got lucky. We got a couple of good special teams plays and whatever.
Exactly.
Now we got to do X, Y, and Z. I'm having fun. I'm like, oh, no. Phil was right. I take every of my little thoughts back. I thought Phil was being tough on the guy, and I'm not. He's a salesman. Get him out of here.
But would you feel more comfortable with, say, if I said you were moving forward with Dalvin Cook and Roquan Johnson as your main backs?
Yeah, I would cut. I would trade or make expendable,
Khalil Herbert because Dalvin Cook is an upgrade to that immensely.
I totally agree.
Then it's like
he's a weapon. I don't know why it's not talked about more. If you have
it is a weapon.
32 million in cap.
Okay, he's a weapon until week 5 where he goes down with the fucking another
then
injury.
Then you bring in Roquan. I mean, you have to
you
take.
But we're talking about spending. We're talking about spending smartly. We're talking about spending smartly.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna. You're
not breaking the bank. With
these are the kind of moves that Poles won't make. He doesn't make any moves like this.
The question was, though, would I be upset if he? No, and I think because of what Shane is saying, you're getting a difference maker. You know, if you had turned around and he was a free agent and the Bears signed him instead of Foreman, are you excited today? Yeah, because he's your day one starter, and there would be no debate.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
I was trading up.
100.
Yes!
What?
Here it is! Or just recording.
The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort. Keeping it 100.
Open competition. Take over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shane's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shane got some haters. But now they're all stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks scrolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Jimmy. What's the name? We do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unfair. The tape never lies. The truth, you see, we laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Trip Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it.
1 point,
2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Birds never lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Is TTNL's Keeping It 100, the best bear show on the planet, bar none. Listen, after a well-deserved week off, we are back and better than ever. We got another great show for you tonight. We got the OG, first ever guest on Keeping It 100. This dude's always repping the Bears on the NFL Network and, of course, his sick podcast. Mr. Adam Rank is on the show. So let's just bring on the guys and get this going. Shane, the smartest man, Marcel.
Probably your worst EO in TTNL history.
Was it? Was
you were
it
on mute?
Copy?
I think you were on mute.
This is getting worse week after week. I don't know what else to say, but listen, we're here, and that's all that matters. So,
poor Claudio.
Good to be back. I thought I'd feel a little bit more re-energized after vacation, but I need a few more days off to rest from the vacay.
My guy
DDP over there will know what I'm talking about here in a couple of weeks. So we'll see.
Well, I go next week.
Yeah, next week.
So then
that's kid free though, right? So that is going to be relaxed. Yeah.
So
I need one of them MJ shirts that says "fuck them kids." I love her, but goddamn, 2-year-old at Disney and every theme park on earth is no joke. I'm gonna. What
was the comedian's name? What was his name?
Which one?
Bebe's kids. What was his name?
Oh, shit. Put me on the spot.
Pat the
yeah. Shit.
Cherie. What's his name? Cherie. Come on.
Bernie Mac. I had just put him
Bernie Mac.
Thank you. Bernie Mac.
Yeah, doesn't he do a podcast for the Chicago Bears too?
Listen, today was the first time.
Oh, that's Pat. That's Pat the designer. I forgot.
Pat the designer. I was listening to Pat the designer and Carmen DeFalco, I believe.
Yep.
And I gotta say, little disappointed in the Bears. I'm just saying. And they could swear, Shane, now. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
George McCaskey's allowed
every
them to
other.
Sounds like they've been watching this network or something.
My bad. Correction. The chat has corrected me. It's Robin Harris that was Bebe's kids. Bernie Mac had his show where he used to always say "fuck them kids." So.
Okay. Well, I was looking for Bernie Mac, so you actually unmuted Claudio's mic. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Great.
It was my son's Make-A-Wish trip, so we couldn't leave her home. She's a little too young to stay home, so she went with.
Listen, yes, rest in power, Bernie Mac. I was a huge Bernie Mac fan.
Yeah, so was Pat the designer. You know what I'm saying, Courtney? Cronin. Hey, ChicagoBears.com pocket. Let's go. Bear Dan. Fucking annoying as a motherfucker.
Is that what happens? Is that what happens on there?
It's a little tough to
I've never watched
some of my best work just happened 30 seconds ago. I nailed that shit. I'm telling you.
You were just in the moment, bro.
Yeah.
You just got it.
Courtney Cronin.
Someone will have a problem with you.
Yeah.
Almost as good.
Actually, shout out to Courtney Cronin. She just lost her grandmother. I don't know if you saw that.
Shit.
Yeah, that was strong. Major props to her. That shit's not easy, man. Going on and talking about a loved one or, somebody that's struggling or anything like that. So major props to her. I mean, it's different doing what we do. She went on a show that's watched by a few more eyeballs than we have here. And major shout out to Courtney
We talk about being vulnerable all the time and how important it is. And you could see the track is getting filled on that train where it's becoming more of a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was just proud of this network and you fans that were supporting us in it because we did have some haters and some backlash. It became some sort of a race thing. And I've just never heard of any race being involved in vulnerability except the human race. And that's really where I come from with it. And to see Courtney, talk about it, it's just a showcase of just strength and the person she is and why she's a part of it. She comes on this network anytime and she supports us here. And that's not the only reason why I say these good things. She's just a good person. And all the best to her mom and her family.
Absolutely.
That was going to be my shout out. But let's talk about it right out the gate.
We can give her a double shout out. She
double shout out.
Yeah, she's worth it. So.
Claudio actually introduced Courtney to TTNL. We got her. We got to get
thing I contributed to this network is
No, you're second best. The yo is the best.
Your mute work is unscathed cloth. It's the best in the business.
Listen, it's putting on that background music. That's what happens when you put that background. For some reason, it mutes me out. I don't understand.
When Phil and I left bar room, we were like, we got to find a motherfucker that doesn't know how to use the mute button and build a network. Surrounded.
I had to learn how to use a computer to start with you guys. What are you talking about?
Well, it's much better than Cheers. I'll tell you that. Yo versus Cheer. I like.
How about real quick? How about Eric Clemens, Phil? I want to talk real quick about.
Oh yes, we met with Eric Clemens. Actually, shit, we could pull that picture of us up, Claudio. Maybe Ivan could do something tonight. He's pulling jackals left and right. No, Ivan, can you grab that picture of Claudio and me with Eric Clemens, who you saw in the open? We took him to Modern Pizza, Claudio, where he sat down, broke bread. We had an amazing conversation.
What was his initial reaction to Modern Pizza?
Was what Shane Marsaw reaction was, and he was, like, I've had a lot of pizza. I'm trying to imitate him.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, you're not full of shit with this pizza.
Yeah.
He took his own pie home.
Yeah, well, we told him.
Oh, did he?
What was it? Chicken?
Oh, he did have his wife's. There's Ivan. I love him. There we are. Modern Pizza, New Haven. He's representing the city of Chicago. Not the pizza, but the city. Modern Pizza.
Yeah.
Eric is just a amazing human being. He
so nice.
He talked about how much he loves TTNL and being a patron, and then the pizza was blown away. And then he ordered, as you said, Claudio, his wife's favorite pizza order. I've never heard this. Black olives, chicken.
Nope. Fuck Black those olives.
Chicken. Do you remember onions?
Yeah, and then
I can do onion. I'm an onion guy. I like onions. I think olives, green or black, are my least favorite thing on the world.
Olives, but hates black olives. I don't understand that.
They're both disgusting. They're both equally disgusting.
Yeah, they are. I have a video of my son. I told him if he could eat 2 olives, I would buy him any game on
2 olives.
Just normal black olives.
2 olives, yeah.
Olives.
I think they were 1 black and 1 green. If he could eat them both without, spitting them out or oh my God, this is, just eat it. Couldn't do it, man. I got the video of it. he gets like 4 bites in. I'm like, yep, that's my boy. Just like it makes me ill. I hate olives.
I like
people that can drink the fucking juice and everything. That just fucks me over right there. I'm like, I'm not even gonna kiss you until you brush your fucking teeth. And
really,
oh, dude, fuck that. I can't stand olives.
I've never heard this before. Olives.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big fan. Black olives on a tuna fish sandwich.
Nope, fuck that.
Provolone.
I don't even like tomatoes, but I'll eat it. I'll eat a tomato first over an olive.
You just ruined your sandwich, Phil.
Yeah, exactly.
You just ruined the whole sandwich. Throw the whole thing away now.
Olives, man. The Spaniards.
Yeah, there's
watching
olives.
In Spain. They love their olives.
The black cured. You ever see the wrinkly black cured ones?
Yeah,
those are very good.
I like all olives, to be honest.
Not me.
If we take you to Steph's favorite restaurant, Shane,
I won't eat them.
Barcelona.
She'll always order the olive.
I don't even like if you. My grandmother used to make like this. I think it was like cabbage salad or something like that, and she put olives in it. She'd be like, "Honey, just pull the olives out," and I couldn't even eat that shit with like the remnants that were left over. It was disgusting.
I never knew there was this big, separation of olives or non-olives. So,
yeah, I guess it's one of those things. You like them or you don't.
Yep, and I definitely don't.
I started thinking about Tupac and Biggie, and I was like, Tupac isn't even in my top 25 rappers. When I just thought I'm like,
he's got to be in here. I mean, he's got a top 25. Come on,
I'm telling you, I came up with a whole list. I'm
not smart.
What are you talking?
So pissed off, she's yelling at you with a mute button on.
She's pulling a Claudio.
Top 25?
You got to be a top 25, bro.
Come on, Phil. Really?
I think it's top 20. I apologize.
You are so biased because I'm sure
There is
you're
no bias. Look at it.
Hold on.
What?
Even Angela.
Well, I'm just letting you know. Listen, I want to spark up the chat, get them fired up for a second because you don't like olives, and I don't think Tupac is in the top 20. So there you go. Come on.
I don't know.
Show me his hits. Show me his hits. Yes. Dear Mama. Get people fired up. That's all I needed is to get you fired up on my Tupac. But seriously, Big Daddy Kane, better. Biggie, Eminem, Rakim, KRS-One. There's 5 right there. Better.
You going 24? You're going 25 deep, dude. You're gonna.
I said
sounds like an East Coast bias.
Cherie, Phil's got Vanilla Ice at 16.
Jay-Z, Nas,
Kid and Play.
Nas is so much better than Tupac. It's not even close. It's not even close. Nas and Tupac.
Caden Whitlow's gonna have to pull that for a YouTube short. That one's gonna be. That's gonna be getting a lot of views.
KRS-One is just so good and so underrated. But there you go.
Your boy LL Cool J. How you leaving?
LL Cool J is one of the most underrated. He's probably the best rapper performer.
I do love Rock the Bell.
I'm stealing this from my guy Paul.
Also hates olives. LL.
Does he? Yeah. LL Cool J versus Tupac is a knockout in round 1 by LL. If they faced off, he wouldn't even get to Biggie. Just keeping it 100 with you. Look at LL. I mean, LL's career. Anyway, Chicago Bears.
Yeah. He's not here yet, Rick. Thanks.
He's on his way.
Listen, I listen to the flow of a lyricist ability. Tupac, he's from the East Coast, by the way, Cherie. Let's just get it. He's from Baltimore.
I'm aware of that, but everyone
talk about his hits. I mean, he's got
West Coast because he went.
He lives off of the fact. I just don't. All eyes on me. Maybe.
Gosh, I'm so
California Love.
Now I question all your hip hop judgments. I'm sorry.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up was a great.
Brenda's Got a Baby for me is one of my favorite Tupac songs.
Yeah.
Born in Harlem. See, I'm telling you, this isn't nothing to do with East Coast. I'm just saying I can get.
A bias, just like you.
I gotta find my list.
You have a bias.
Next week's show, I'm gonna show you all the 20 that are ahead of him. No one could say that Eminem isn't better than Tupac. Like if you're just looking in the mirror and you were gonna have Tupac versus Eminem would rip him to shreds in a freestyle, let alone some of the songs.
Phil's got Pat Fitzgerald over Tupac.
Oh my God. Pat Fitzgerald people wanted Pat Fitzgerald as our coach.
Oh yeah. Well,
I say people because it wasn't fucking me.
Those are people that want Mike Singletary as defensive coordinator and
you talk
Ditka
about
as
the
GM.
Floor falling out of Northwestern. Whew, that is a disgrace. Disgrace, Chicago. All right, what are we doing there?
First of all, Northwestern's in Evanston. Has nothing to do with Chicago.
Chicago's Big Ten team on the fucking. Once you come
that shit, but what happened was despicable. I don't know. I don't know how much Fitz knew, but they did the right thing. I mean, they did the wrong thing at first, but then they corrected it by doing the right thing and firing him completely because you just can't come back from that, man.
Can't. I agree. There's going to be two sides to every story, but I mean, I could. I don't even like to talk about it too much. I mean, anybody that has any affiliation with a university, I have some stories that are insane about shit that goes on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about the stuff I'm not even talking about hazing, but hazing pales in comparison to some of the stuff that goes on. And let's just be honest, in everyday life, but college athletics, man, it's crazy. I got some doozies, and I mean, you're talking about stuff. I was young, but I have a very strong connection that Phil knows about Syracuse University, and it's funny. I laugh, they're talking about the kids getting paid now. Well, it's just been going on for a very, 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 very long time. Very long time. And it ain't just college football and college basketball. The two big
field hockey teams are fucking.
Dude, I know kids. Lacrosse is huge. There's a very well-known high school up here called Carthage that is like a factory for Syracuse. The Powell brothers and all that. It's insane what lacrosse players are getting to play college lacrosse at universities. Blow your mind.
It's really disgusting. It's despicable and embarrassing. I don't think you could justify it. And
yeah, it's
unfortunately, this shit comes out under the umbrella of hazing, and then it gets even worse. And you knew it was going to get worse. They didn't handle it appropriately, and usually that's what happens. So,
well, they just got a new athletic director, I believe, and then they also had issues with the baseball team. I don't know the baseball team issues, but it sounds to me like Northwestern's athletic department has a giant issue. That's just the football team issue. It sounds like your whole department needs a reassessing. So,
well, who's the football field named after? Because he's
it's the guy from
Ryan,
the Bears.
Yeah, he's a part
Ryan.
owner of the Bears. Yeah, Pat Ryan.
Yeah, Pat Ryan.
And he's got, like, if the Bears decide to sell, he's got like the right of they have to go to him first. And that's been the big thing. There was a lot of talk there connecting him obviously with Northwestern, and then the Pat Fitzgerald ties that would kind of usher in the next for the Chicago Bears. But I mean, I know there's going to be lawsuits that are coming from this and all that, but it's crazy, man. It
is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very crazy. And I've moved on from the Tupac. Bullets is texting me fucking songs from Tupac like it matters to me. I don't change my mind.
We do have some breaking news.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Tupac is dead, Phil. He died
I knew you were
a lot of hits before he died.
With that comment or something Bullets might have said earlier. But yes, Chris, we understand that. And I'm not going to change my mind. It's just
the grassy knoll got him.
It's just what it is. We have no structure. It's exactly what Ivan. There's another Ivan.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know.
This Ivan's got it.
That's other
Olive to Tupac to Northwestern.
We did the show flow 2 weeks ago. We knew we were going on vacation. I'm like, guys, if we kick off the show with Claudio forgetting his mute button, then we're going to go into the Olive talk, and the scandal at Northwestern.
The season
Tupac
is around the corner. And I was listening. Let me go back to the Bernie Mac and Pat the Entertainer, or whatever his name is. I don't know the guy. He might be a great guy. He might come on this show, and I love the guy, but there's just a way to kiss someone's ass that I hate. I don't like that. It's just like, have your opinion, your thoughts, and go from it. Now, I got to give credit to this network again, because I was listening. They're talking about the Bleacher Report article, and I'm like, TTNL was talking about this when he got traded, before he got traded, and then after he got traded.
Yeah.
And then again after the draft. I specifically literally can remember after, what was it, the third row, after we took the Dexter, you, me, and Matt Carson talking about, listen, look at what the Bears did. And then we broke down. I could see you. Would you trade, Phil?
Yeah,
Tremaine Edmonds and Edwards for
you Roquan. Essentially traded Roquan for Tremaine Edmonds
Everyone's acting
Edwards, the linebacker from Philly, a second-round draft pick, and cap space.
Broke this all down for TTNL.
And
now it's becoming in vogue because someone fucking stole it. Again, it's not like we created the wheel here, but I'm just saying, not only it was like bullet by bullet point that we all touched upon this, and that's where the Chicago Bears are. Is Roquan Smith, like, even back then, Roquan Smith,
so we go back,
terrible.
People can go back and look at our arc. I don't think he was terrible. My biggest thing with him
in this defense,
when you were talking $100 million contract,
you can't pay it.
I didn't see splash plays, and I know we can talk to Adam Rank. Has Roquan above Tremaine Edmonds, on his hierarchy of linebackers, and in this defense, there's no way. I mean, it's well documented our thoughts on Tremaine Edmonds when he was coming out. It's just the length alone, and then he's got the athleticism on top of it. And he was 24 years old when the Bears signed him. 24, and now he's 25. He's still got a lot of growth. He's probably, if he hits and plays the way that they believe that he can, he's getting another contract extension here in Chicago. Another one. And the biggest thing of it all, you can talk about takeaways, ball production. Nobody ever talks about passes defensed when they're talking about that. And that's a big part of ball production. Passes defense. Go look at those numbers. It's not even close.
Yeah,
passes defense, and that's because of his length.
First of all,
and the ultimate team leader. Roquan led, but he was not the ultimate team leader. He wasn't the consummate pro. There was a lot of question marks surrounding Roquan.
This isn't recency bias by TTNL. This was back in August when Shane's approaching me and we're asking this question on this show. Is this guy worth $100 million? And you don't pay an off the ball linebacker that doesn't make game-changing plays frequently enough. That was then. Then throughout the season, as we're leading up to the fucking trade deadline, we're talking about what his fit is. He looked lost out there. Lost in this defense. In Eberflus's defense, there wasn't a question in my mind. I know what Ryan Poles said, that he had an offer. I forget. I'm just paraphrasing. Unbelievable offer on the table for him.
Yeah, part of it would have been he would have led
changing, right?
Yeah, he would have led the league in some, financial aspects of it. But like I said, and it's not. We're going to get cast as Bears homers and everything. That's fine. And I'm not saying that Roquan is a bad player. He's not. He's just not the proper fit in what they're doing here. Just based on the profile of the players the Bears want to bring in here. When you're talking 6'5" versus 6 foot or 6'1", that alone, like I said, everybody talks about interceptions, talks about forced fumbles. Nobody talks about passes defense. And that's a big difference when you're talking about Tremaine Edmonds and other guys. His numbers are a lot higher there. And that's a big deal. It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. And in parts around the country, our guest is a big deal. He's a big deal, I know, in this house, the Atoshan house. My father's still pissed. He's like, when am I going to meet this guy? Be on the show. But honestly, let's get the football discussion. Let's get this guy out here. You know him from the NFL Network. You know him from this network. He was the very first guest. Well, let the intro speak for itself. Let's bring him out. The great Adam Rank.
Keep it 100.
What's up, everybody? This is NFL Network's Adam Rank, and you're now.
At this point, this guy doesn't even need an introduction. But we're gonna give him one anyway. We already know he's every Bears fan favorite analyst. from the NFL Network.
Come meet me at Portillo's and let's get it on.
Versatility is the name of the game, and he has it in spades. Regular season, fantasy season, NFL playoffs, free agency, and the NFL draft. He's got it all covered. Bears fans, TTNL fans, get up out your seats and give it up for TTNL royalty.
Shane and Phil are the axe and slash of the sports world.
Also the first ever guest of the TTNL Network. Yes! He's Adam Rank.
There he is.
Oh, hey. I dozed off. This is why I logged on so late, because I figured my intro was going to be taking up 7 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like the Undertaker in WrestleMania. Like, well, the show is now 8 hours because the Undertaker's intro is 45 minutes.
We gotta give it to you, bro.
I appreciate it. No, it's really nice.
You're bigger than you imagine that you are.
That's not true. The NFL certainly didn't feel that way, so that's cool.
Well, you got the golf shirt on there, Adam. Were you out on the links today?
You know what? I was just capturing some content for our friends at Strixon. It's been a busy day. So I was on the Jim Rome show earlier this afternoon on Wednesday. Then I did a couple of other podcasts. I was on the radio in Baltimore. I was on Taylor Dahl's podcast. I was on a radio station in Chicago, a radio station in Jacksonville. Got some content captured for Strixon, but then the premiere event, the one that was circled on the calendar as a definite don't miss, was my return to the Tape Never Lies network with our friend Draft Dr. Phil and Shane, who I was told was going to be in vacation mode somewhere. Are you back, or what's going on?
Got back last night. Yeah, I did the
I didn't think he was going to be here.
My son's Make-A-Wish trip. We did that after his long journey with cancer and kicking cancer's ass. So we took the kids down to Disney and did that, and I will.
Congratulations!
Yep,
that's awesome news.
I would say to everybody out there, just don't do Disney if you have a 2-year-old daughter, because it's pure craziness.
It's a lot to take in. We got the 4-year-old, and I tried to reason with the mother and be like, listen, you don't want him there. We were at Disneyland, the Magic Kingdom, the park, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And I said, the 4-year-old's not. And the thing of it is he's tall for his age, which means he goes on rides he shouldn't be going on.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're going on Thunder Mountain. All right, good luck.
Yeah.
That mother was so the boy. I mean, he was a little taken aback. I'm like, hey, watch the goat when we're going around the turn. He's like, he wants no part of it.
Yeah.
So it's an experience for sure.
Yeah. My problem is my son is 12 now, and he's a little more timid. My daughter is 2, and she gives
don't care
0 shits. She would go on anything, jump off of anything, and it was a beautiful experience for sure. But I definitely need a vacation from the vacation.
Oh, there's no rest, and there's a lot of.
I was surprised he was here. Honestly, I'm like, I know what that.
Yeah, we flew in.
We went to a water park. I was tired after 2 days. Forget about Disney.
Yeah. Oh,
you ever do the Great Lodge?
That's where I was.
Great Wolf Lodge. That's where Phil was,
bro. What the hell is wrong with you? You're like, hey, you know what I want to do? Is I want to go swirl in a tube of urine. Child urine. That sounds like a dream vacation.
Yeah,
exactly. I was there.
What a bunch of masochists who put this together. There's one in Anaheim. I'm like, blow that thing up. There's no need for this to be. We got Knott's Berry Farm. We got Disneyland. We got California Adventure. Like take them to an Angels game. I don't care what it is. You have no business going to Great Wolf.
I was at the Great Wolf, and they had a great time. I got to admit.
Of course they don't care. They don't care. They don't care that they get dysentery. It doesn't matter to them.
So true. My son was. We stayed at the Polynesian Resort. Beautiful, beautiful place, and he was just hanging out, and we in the pool for probably a solid 3.5 to 4 hours, and came back up into the room. And he's like, I don't have to take a shower tonight. I've been in the pool so long. I'm like, oh, you're taking a shower.
You're taking a shower, sir.
I said, you see all those thousands of people? I said, how many times did you pee in the pool? He's like, yeah, I did a couple times. I'm like, well, so did everybody else.
Pool. He admitted it.
Oh, he's 12. Come on. They have.
Yeah.
They don't
you know,
care.
That my kids don't pee in the pool to my exasperation. Like, what are you doing? Like, why pee in the pool? Because it's so hot to get out. We're in Palm Desert. Like, I don't want to get out. Just pee in the pool. Like, whatever. Exactly. The hot tub, or at least go into the hot tub because nobody will know. And it's super warm anyways.
Yeah, that's the one thing that you couldn't even get into the hot tub in Orlando where we were at the Polynesian. I'm like, it's like 103 degrees. And what is the draw to the hot tub at that point? Anyway,
exactly.
Hila was with our daughter doing, in the shallow end, and Riley was making friends, and I was just floating my way over to the tiki bar, that's on the end of the pool, and that's where I spent most of my time.
Are you an olives guy? Do you like olives?
No,
Adam. So you're not a fan.
Is this a How You Met Your Mother thing?
People want to know.
We were talking about olives. I think olives are the most disgusting food on the planet, green or black, and Phil loves them. So does his wife.
But it's always like that whole thing, though, it's always a matter of taste. Like, it's not like you're politically opposed to olives. That's what, and people get so upset. They're like, because personally, I don't like eggs. And people are like, how do you not like eggs? I'm like, I don't know how taste buds work. I just know that my taste buds send a message to my brain that this is garbage and I can't eat it. Do I understand that my life would be easier if I like? Yeah, 100%. There's eggs in everything. And it's not like I don't eat cake or anything because there was an egg once in it, but I understand like how easy, because I make fried eggs for the boy, and I understand how easy. And I always I'm upset. I'm like, God, this would be so easy. Like, I'm hungry. I don't know what I want. It takes 3 minutes to make one of these things. It would be, my life would be easier. I'm sorry that my taste buds have rejected this thing, but they have. So it's like so it's not like, I always hate that conversation. Like, are you a cilantro? Like, some people just physically don't, their body rejects cilantro. Like my body rejects penicillin. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I understand, and it's fine. And I feel too, like, I don't get this notion. Whenever you order something at a restaurant and you give them very specific instructions, like I would not like mayonnaise on this burger, and the burger arrives with mayonnaise, I'm sending that back. Yeah. And if anybody, and people are like, I don't like doing that. I'm like, I'm paying for it.
Exactly.
It's not like somebody just gave it to me. Now, if somebody came up to me and gave me a burger with mayonnaise on it, I would politely be, oh, thank you very much. And then I would toss it, but I wouldn't make a big production out of it. But if I'm paying my hard-earned money and tipping on the service, my tip, like, I'm tipping you under the guise that you're going to get my order right. And I don't know if there's a breakdown. Maybe it wasn't your fault. Maybe it was the cook's fault. I don't care. This is how I ordered it, and I'm paying for it. I should be able to get it the way that I want it to. Like, I do Cameo videos, and some guy gave me a 3-star review. And he's like, it was good, but whatever. And so I reached out to him and I said, what was wrong? And he goes, it was too long, or I kind of wanted this. And I'm like, buddy, just, I'll do it over. And I redid it. And he was like, oh, thanks so much. I'm like, well, you're paying for this. You should be able to get what you want. If you want me to do 5 minutes of whatever, I will, as long as it's within reason, I will do it. Like, yeah, you're paying for it. It's fine. Like, I got you.
That's why I love you, Adam. I send it back too. If it's wrong, I send it back. I can't be afraid of the fucking clown ass that might spit in it or do that. Because if you live that way, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
If I got something sent to me that olives, and I'm 100% sending that back.
100%. Why wouldn't you? Why would you? I'm paying for this experience.
Damn right.
Exactly.
I don't want it. I worked with a cook who was like that, and then he would get really upset when people would send stuff back, and I'm like, buddy, like they're here. I was working at the Improv. I'm like, they've paid $80 to get into this place.
Right.
They're paying $30 for this rubber chicken. Like, redo it without the pineapple. Like, you're fine.
Yeah.
And stop being so pissed about it. Our job could not be easier.
Let's get into some Bears talk before Dr. Horror Show starts to spit in his food and eat it.
Ooh.
Are you ready for this season or what? Is this the season you feel as though the Chicago Bears kind of define who they are?
No, we're fucked. Here's why.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at my room. The room that I sit in. There's an Arsenal scarf right there. How did Arsenal's season end? There's a bunch of angel bobbleheads. How is their season going right now? I have no reason for optimism for anything. If you would have asked me this question in March when Arsenal was at the top of the table, I would have been like, everything's working out. Everything's falling into place. And now everything couldn't go.
You got to get 1 out of 3 right. Come on.
It's like the scene in Boogie Nights where they're so down on their luck they're trying to sell baking soda to the guy, and they're playing Sister Christian, and there's this cabin boy lighting fireworks. That's where I'm at right now. I'm about to rob this drug dealer. That's where my life's at, sports wise. It's terrible. I'm trying to sell a demo tape. Like it's unfortunate the way everything has worked out. But in all seriousness, I really, you know what? I look at the way the Bears have been constructed, and while my optimism last season was not rewarded, I think there's enough reason to believe that the Bears are on a trajectory that they should be very competitive. And especially in the NFC, where there's not a lot of good teams. There's the Eagles and there's the 49ers, who are, I would consider, good teams. The rest of them, like, you all have flaws. You're all okay, but you've got some sort of flaw. You know, you're an attractive lady, but you got jacked up teeth. I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with each and every one of you, that you're not that good of a team. The Lions fans won't believe it. The Lions fans somehow think they're in the same category as the Chiefs, apparently. Oh, you cannot reason with a Lions fan. Like, I was sitting there on the Baltimore radio today, and they're like, why do you have confidence? Why do you have confidence in the Ravens? And I'm like, well, I have 20 years of history with the Ravens of like, they usually answer their questions. They usually get the personnel correct. They find a way to win. Like, they've earned that from me. The Lions have done nothing to earn any sort of respect. They do not deserve your adulation or anything like that. But everybody wants to make the hot pick, like, oh, they finished so good. Like, they were 2-6 last year at one point, and that was probably more indicative of their talent. Like, do you really if you think Jared Goff is this person that is going to lead them to the playoffs or the Super Bowl or whatever you think their expectations are, that's fine. And that's the one thing that I really like about where the Bears are at right now, is that I will concede that Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC. You cannot tell me that there is another quarterback in the NFC who is definitively better than Justin Fields. And if we're playing the game of like, who's got the higher ceiling, the most upside, there's nobody with a higher ceiling than Justin Fields. Even Jalen Hurts, I don't think that his ceiling is as high as Justin Fields. And everybody wants every amateur scout. It's like, well, if he learns how to throw short passes, shut up. If he learned, look at what he was dealing with last year. Dante Pettis and
Symbol Webster,
Equanimous St. Brown, like they should have tried out for the U.S. volleyball team with the way that they handled balls. It looked like St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos at times. Like, do you want to catch the football? What do you think this game is? So I feel very comfortable, and I think that the hype.
The wrong St. Brown, for God's sake. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The hype around DJ Moore is warranted. It is real. And by the way, for every Bills fan or every just average NFL, casual NFL fan It's like there's no way DJ Moore's on the same level as Stephon Diggs. And we're like, yeah, they're on two different levels. DJ Moore's ahead of him. DJ Moore is a better player than Stephon Diggs. You know who led the NFL last year in drops? It was Stephon Diggs with 9, and the Bills were second in the NFL in drops with, I think it was 34. Right. And you look at it, and I look at that situation in Buffalo. Nobody wants to hear it. Like, everybody's ready to kiss in the Bills to the AFC Championship game once again. And I'm like, do you not start to get the feeling like maybe the Bills' time has passed? Like, they had a shot, and they changed the rules for them last year.
They did.
Now that window is closing. Like, Jacksonville's getting better. Cincinnati's already better. Kansas City's Kansas City. And now some of these teams are creeping up, the Jets. And this is, Jesus Christ, the fact that I have to go out and defend Aaron Rodgers to these people who, for the past 15 fucking years, have been saying he's the best quarterback of all time. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, he sucks. Like, he's not going to be able to handle the AFC East. Like, fuck off. Aaron Rodgers is an elite level player who is also the pettiest person that I've ever seen play a game outside of maybe. He has that MJ type of pettiness. Like, you don't think he's going to New York with the score to settle? He's got his boy Nathaniel Hackett and Garrett Wilson. Oh, my God. And the fact that I have to defend this, why am I being called upon as a state's witness here? Like, we'd like to call to the stand Adam Rank. Can you answer some questions? And Ted Lieu's grilling me about Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, that's pretty good. Like, I've seen it firsthand.
We've had to live with it. I mean, we've said it. We wanted to keep him in the division, including you and Justin Jones. You didn't want to hear the excuses, but there's no denying.
Yeah.
Every time we've talked that,
he's a good player.
He's a great quarterback.
I hate him.
We hate him because he's great.
Yeah, I don't hate Jared Goff like this.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't hate Kirk Cousins like this.
Going against Jared Goff, for God's sake.
Cousins, I think it's fun. Like, okay, fine. Like, I don't care. Like, it's like, do you guys watch the Ted Lasso?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's like when, hold on, I'm on season 3, episode 3. Zava just arrived, so please don't spoil anything.
I haven't started 3, so we're good.
Okay, so we're good. But it's like at the end of 2, when Jamie is like, hey, he told Keely that he loved her, and our boy gets upset at him, and Roy Kent is upset. And then Nate's like, I told her I kissed her, and he's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Like, that's Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, I told your girlfriend that I love her. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Jamie Chart, that motherfucker, I hate him. Do not do that again. Yeah. That's Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff are Nate the Great.
You got it straight on the money. And now the NFL has decided, Shane.
Oh, Jesus. What now?
The New York Jets will be on Hard Knocks, Adam. So the Bears, my hope for the Bears to peek behind the scene is gone.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I think that the Bears are going to be the better story next year when they're going to be in the same position again. When they have, they're going to be one of the teams that are.
If they don't make the playoffs this year, they definitely would be up for it.
Oh yeah, nowhere for Georgie boy to hide.
I get it, but it's like it's always amazing to me, all the olds who come out of the woodwork like, I don't want the distraction. I'm like, you're not on the fucking team. Right. It doesn't matter what you think. I've been a personal trainer for 30 years. And I'll tell you something. I don't want somebody putting a camera in my face when I'm working. And I'm like, I wouldn't want somebody to put a camera in my face when I'm working either. He did not get the irony of that statement. But I'm like, I go, listen, old man, boomer, whatever they call him. Boomer, listen, let me tell you something. These kids who are playing in the NFL right now grew up on social media. Exactly. They've had Facebook accounts since they were 5. They record everything that they do. Go on Instagram. Every one of these guys is on Instagram. I know where Velus Jones Jr. has vacationed. I know when he's worked out. I know every meal that he's ever eaten. These guys are not distracted by this shit.
Right.
They're fine with they love it. They love it. So I'm sorry, you're a personal trainer at 18-hour fitness or whatever it is you've done. Like, these kids are different. They want to be on TV, and you got to sit there. It's just the old person. And listen, let's be honest. Like, George is kind of an old guy, and it's like, I get it. Like, our owner can be that way. Like, that's fine. Like, it's okay. I just hope after a year, Kevin Warren is going to be like, dude, we're doing this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I understand. I let it go last year, but now we're doing it again.
Yeah,
because, like,
George himself came out and said if Kevin Warren and Eberflus and Ryan Poles get together and they think that this would be a good thing, and then he was against it, he wouldn't, they're
going to start off their job, George, and go against.
I just think they're going to be that much closer to Arlington Heights. You're going to know more about Justin Fields. DJ Moore is going to be set up. We're going to have a shit ton of money to spend again in free agency. I just think they're going to be a better story next year. So that's
and that's fair. And it really is. And I know that everybody uses this as an excuse to bash the McCaskies. It's like, your grandfather would not want to be on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of slack. Like, okay, that's fine. They do they got it. They pulled their card this year. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, we're coming over to your house one more year, Grandpa, but next year, you're coming to my place.
Yeah, I agree.
With a TV that works.
How many years have you sat back just as a Bears fan? And I get jealous every year that it's Dallas or the Jets or Detroit again or Jacksonville. I'm like, come on, man. I want some Bears contact. The 1920 football drive. I don't know why they're not doing that shit once a week with contact.
That is
crazy.
Yeah. Like, people are like, well, that stuff's great. I'm like, they don't do it all the time.
No, they don't.
Think about this. One of the old coaches, one of a boomer coach even said, like, if you look at the Chicago Bears and the toughness and the things you remember is what was able to be captured with Mike Singletary mic'd up, or Walter, when they just were themselves in the moment. We're going to do this all day, baby. Fans want that behind the scenes, unfiltered truth and reality. And to your credit, Adam, no one has said it except you about these young kids living their life on social media and having an excuse now. Coach is saying, I can't post our workouts, but the Sunday Ticket crew comes in here and that narrator comes on and that music plays. And all of a sudden we're talking about Justin Fields busting his ass. And here's a great moment. And fans are like, oh shit, that's what he does. And you get to know these players on another level. And I think Shane and you are right. That's gotta be, I hope Kevin Warren steps in. I've always wanted to see it. I've always been in Shane's shoes, watching the Cowboys, the Jets with Rex Ryan, the Baltimore Ravens. Are you kidding? When you saw the roast, and then last year you saw Detroit with Hutchinson going up there. It made them likable. It made them, I don't care what anyone says, it goes back to Adam Rank. It made them more confident. We do this. Cameras are in our face. It's our job. We're entertainers. Yeah. That's what we do. So I hope they get it.
You could potentially be covering Justin Fields extension. You could potentially be covering the Bears saying he's not the guy. We have 2 first rounders. We're gonna do that. There's a lot. And then the Arlington Heights stuff on top of it is going to be fascinating. I mean, it's not just the stadium. Let's be honest. The entertainment district part of it. You're going to be another year down the road with that. I just think it's going to be a massive story. I mean, I was in Orlando for the last week, and a couple of days, I had my Bears hat on or a Bears t-shirt or whatever, and everybody, the Bears, and that just, even if they're not Bears fans, it's the NFL is better. It's like in the NBA is better when the Lakers are good and the Knicks are good and the Celtics are good, and it's no different in the NFL. When the Chicago Bears are good, it's better for the league. It's a
Madden
massive franchise. Yeah, it is.
I always remember it. It was a broadcast, and Madden said, "Yeah, Pat, football is just so much better when the Chicago Bears are great. It just makes the game that much better." And it's been the truth ever since. Ever since. It really is. And I hope they turn the corner. I know you talked about Roquan Smith. Shane and I happen to disagree with you when it comes to Tremaine Edmonds versus Roquan Smith. I know Shane was a big fan of Tremaine coming out of college.
I was a big fan of Roquan too. I just think in this defense, he makes more sense for Baltimore and what they do than he does for Chicago and what they do.
Yeah,
just based on the scheme and his length and all of that. But like you were on in Baltimore, Adam, is that something you guys talked about with Roquan today?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I really like what he does, and I think that defense got a lot better when he was.
The sun happened to him.
Yeah, I think his audio is all jacked up.
Yeah, yep. Something's going on.
I feel like I know. I'm plugged in. I'm hardwired in.
Sounds like Mickey Mouse on my end.
Yeah. Sign out, come right back.
Bounce out and bounce back in.
Sometimes it's a connection. I'm blaming Claudio on this one.
Fucking Claudio.
But you could see the passion and the pride that Adam has with this football team. Obviously, I think a bunch of stuff as we lead into camp, these rookies, this young linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, honestly, I'll say it before the season starts. He's going to be a bigger story in Chicago week 1 than people are talking about right now.
I agree, Phil. And I think when we did our free agency frenzy covering it and, the Bears came out the gates and they signed TJ Edwards and then they signed the offensive lineman. We're going live for that. And like I said, we hit go live and boom, the Tremaine Edmonds signing becomes, hey, he's going to Chicago. And it just always made sense when you hear Eberflus and Poles talk about what they want with all of this money. It always made sense to earmark a high upside athlete that's very, very young, that's got length. Not a lot of guys. There's not a lot of guys. Phil, you've been around coaching your entire life. When you can put a guy that's 6'5" in the middle of your defense, and when you're playing cover two on top of it, yeah, exactly.
When you get into those zones, especially as a quarterback, and you have length. I mean, we saw it with Brian Urlacher. That length created those passing windows to be having to be near perfect for quarterbacks just by their length and the reach. Yeah. I said it to him when he was on this show. He was a game changer. He set the bar differently at Mike linebacker because of his length and his athleticism. Those two things. So a lot of linebackers going to have length, but they can't move for shit. They're not an athlete. Tremaine Edmonds moves like Brian Urlacher. Now, is he Urlacher? I'm not saying that. It's 6'5" length, creating a absence of windows.
Takes the window from here.
Exactly. To here. Now Kirk Cousin has to be near perfect in his processing to get it to the right. And listen, as a Bears fan, look into your mirror. I'm looking straight at you, Bears fans. Like, you live this. Like, you watch BHL right after the fucking game. I'm looking at you, talking to you. I've lived this game with the Bears for the last 8 years. And on 3rd and 13th, 3rd and 17, this in-breaking deep in cut has killed the Chicago Bears. And yes, Eddie Jackson has helped at moments take it away, but it has killed this team. What Tremaine Edmonds does for this defensive philosophy is take away that passing window on that deep in cut on 3rd down. And it's important if your base defense is under this philosophy. We saw it with the linebacker. What was his name last year? Freaking just escaped me. Now he went to the Buffalo Bills. Morrow. He could not turn.
He went to
the
Philly.
Eagles.
Yeah.
He could not turn his hips and get into his drop and be long. It's just God didn't grow him like that. So the reality of this, what we're going to be able to watch when we break down tape, is how Tremaine Edmonds not only takes away passing windows, but the thing is, guys, and you're going to hear this first before someone writes about it tomorrow, he is an athlete. So if he gets depth on his drop back, he's able to plant and drive up the field like a fucking safety and attack a fullback or a wing going in the flat, catching a flat ball on 3rd and 14, and comes up and puts his face right into the dude's chest and drops him for what? A punt, because you've stopped him now short of the first down. This is what you need, is that kind of football player. And then to George here and to Shane's point, pass is defensed. If you're preaching, hustling to the football, hits philosophy, right? No loafs. Tremaine Edmonds gets his hand on a lot of balls. And what does that mean? And it's not a drop, Ivan. It means the ball is going in the air. And if you're hustling to the ball, that tipped ball becomes Kyler Gordon's ball. And the Bears are going the other way.
In 4 less career games. So Roquan's got 78 career games played. Tremaine has 74. Edmonds has 13 more passes defensed in his career. I mean, that's a significant number. That's not 1 or 2. 13 is a lot higher number. And that's all based on athleticism and length. And in this defense, those numbers are only going to widen.
I'm just saying, the tackling ability, if you watch him on tape, and we did for you patrons, his ability to track and fly up and his range in distance to the ball, because he's so long, he is going to shorten that down distance marker and be able to finish tackling perfect. I mean, his textbook in his ability to open field tackle with this length gets people down. Now they're punting. Mm-hmm. As you said, Shane, that's just as important as a turnover. The Chicago Bears, our front 7 was fucking pathetic. Pathetic last year.
Pathetic would have been an upgrade.
I mean, how many rants did I have to have about the softness up the middle on both sides of the football? So, but on defense, you were like epically bad for the Chicago Bears. Yep. So now you're improving. You drafted 2 young defensive linemen. Adam did text that it's his internet that's occurring. I'm thinking he's trying to reboot. Just for those of you keeping score at home, if he can't come back because he's got an internet, believe me, we've been there. I'm waiting, see what his response is. But looking at this football team, you got Andrew Billings. You signed him.
Very underrated signing.
Very underrated. What is he going to do? Well, he's a veteran that's going to create an underfront press of that center and that guard, forcing a double team. Then hopefully your 3 tech, which probably is going to be Walker, gets penetration and is able to be one-on-one and tackle for loss. He's going to force these inside zone plays back.
Right.
And you're not going to be in 3rd down situations. Now, 2018, Vic Fangio, you're running a 3-4 defense, right? You had to have a nose. We saw what they did, right? It was Mitch being rewarded with short fields that made that football team win. The defense wins championships. It'll never change. The offense gets a lot of glory, but if you can't stop anybody, and if you do stop somebody, guess what? If it's 0 points put on the board, you're about to win. 90% of the time, right?
So Jake, real quick, if this is all true, why did the Bills let Edmonds go? Because he was an unrestricted free agent. They had no control over it. They didn't have the financial wherewithal to franchise tag him, and the Bills are just, let's be honest, they're a better team. They've paid their quarterback. They've paid a lot of players. They didn't have the money to keep him. And the Bears were very well aware of that. They could have made him a cursory offer. The Bears had a ton of cap space, and they went in with a huge need with a lot of cash, and they said to themselves, we're going to put a number out there where Buffalo's not even going to legitimately have a chance to make him an offer. And that's what you do, because listen, TJ Edwards is a fantastic player. Very happy with the signing. He's not a building block. He's a piece to this defense. Tremaine Edmonds is a core foundational piece to where the Bears are heading. You look at Justin Fields. You look at Tremaine Edmonds. He's the captain on defense.
Faces, right?
Justin Fields is the captain on offense. That's where the Bears are right now. Are they the Buffalo Bills in terms of talent? No, they're not. But that's the way that the NFL works with the salary cap structure. And if you have money to spend, you have to go out there and splurge on guys and make sure that you secure them.
I think
especially when they're 24 years old, Phil. That's rare.
I think people don't understand. Like, you only could do so much and pay so much. The Bills have a situation going on, and he becomes a free agent. If you don't put a franchise tag on him, and the Chicago Bears clearly, when you look at the deals of all the free agents, identified him as a building pillar piece at 24 years old, at 6'5", and the ability to cover ground. When you're playing zone, just being honest, if you're a soccer guy, or you know football, or you think you know football, or you try to break down tape and pretend you know football, I'll teach you something right now to put in your fucking tape breakdown. Length and speed with a tenacity and toughness, a confident tackler, creates an environment of change, and it just trickles down to everybody else. If that defensive tackle knows that Tremaine Edmonds is behind him and he can get back to cover curl, seam,
job so much
fly
easier.
Back, everybody else is confident in doing their fucking job, because I don't got to worry about this guy. And I'm just telling you right now, Tremaine Edmonds is the perfect fit and the perfect signing by Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham, understanding that, hey, how do I can sign and draft several defensive linemen up the middle. I can't find a 24-year-old at 6'5" that runs like and tackles like this. This kid could play defensive end in third down.
And he has not plateaued. He's still, this season that he just put forward was his best season as a pro. His age 24 season. He turned 25, I believe, in May. So he's 25 years old now. But that is good business. That's what you do in NFL free agency. That's why if Daron Payne had not signed, if he had not been tagged in Washington, it would have been no different. The Bears would have paid him. He would have been here. He would have been a Chicago Bear. Yeah, I totally agree.
I know for a fact that was their plan. Listen, go go become a patron. Sign up. The history of us analyzing the Bears defense on Saturday with me and my father breaking down the middle of the Bears defense showcased a weakness of epic proportion. I'm talking the worst Chicago Bears defensive front in the history of the Bears. And now you're getting guys in here that are going to dispel that, just like this guy here, who took a lot of shit, apparently, for his record. For your record.
Me?
For the Chicago Bears. Yes. Shane.
But I didn't give them enough wins?
12
you
and
gave him
5.
too many wins, according to.
I hurt everybody's feelings by having a little bit of optimism against our dog shit schedule.
I was so proud of you for honestly speaking your truth. You weren't coming from a place of being a homer or trying to get the Mike North clicks up. You were just speaking your truth, looking at the opponents. That's what you were doing. I was proud of you.
Yeah, like I don't see us. I thought I was being magnanimous, splitting with Detroit and the Vikings, and I wasn't gonna take the shit with the Packers. Like you can't tell me that's a good team. And I know that Pro Football Focus has gone out there and been like, oh, this offensive line is still pretty great. David Bakhtiari apparently has taken a DeLorean back to 2018, and he's this elite level player all of a sudden. And I'm like, you guys are going to see how shit this line is when Jordan Love's back there. Once again, forced to defend Aaron Rodgers, but like, it's a little bit different. Life was a little bit different when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. So
damn right.
I don't know. As long as they're happy, and they're also going to find out what it's like. Like they have all those first round picks on defense, where how perfect everything has to go when you are relying only on your defense and your running game and your quarterback is not that great. It's not a good way to live. You haven't had to do it for 30 years.
Yeah, welcome.
Good
to
luck
Chicago.
with it this season.
Welcome to Chicago.
Yeah,
Exactly, Adam. Honestly, this isn't a prayer. I hated Aaron Rodgers because he was so good, and I would say that all the time. I was there witnessing probably, and I hate to say this, it was the best throw I've ever seen a quarterback make, and it was against the Bears when the Bears beat them to win the division that year.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers on 3rd and I think it was like 13 throws a fucking dime down the left sideline. Like no human being should complete this. Say Eddie Jackson's coming over the top. I forget the corner that's on him, perfect coverage, and he just dropped. And I'm just looking at the replay.
Wasn't it Fuller?
It might have been Fuller, but I think Fuller was on the left, so it was going.
Oh, right.
Going towards the city. Whatever is that, north, south? I don't know. I'm terrible with geography. It's going north, so I think it was the other corner. Who was the other corner that year, Shane? Was it Prince Amukamara?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was against Prince, and it was a dime ball to Cobb. And I was like, how the fuck do you complete that? Fuck. It was one of those. As a coach, as a player, as a fan, you were just, and those types of things you're not going to get from a new vanilla quarterback that has, it's not there.
And this isn't to say that Jordan Love can't be a good quarterback. I thought coming out of Utah State, I liked his skills, and I thought that he could translate at some point. And he went to a great situation where he could sit back and learn. But people need to remember that during Aaron Rodgers' first season with the Green Bay Packers as a starter, they did not go to the playoffs. They were not a good football team, and it was a struggle. And I think that a lot of the few rational Packers fans who still exist, we're talking about Nags and some like a few of the other guys, like they understand this, but the fan base in general does not go along with this. Tom Grossi, he's a legitimate fan. Like these guys understand, but like everybody else is like, gotta be turnkey. Jordan Love, like if Aaron Rodgers couldn't do it in his first season, Jordan Love's not doing it. I'm just telling you right now.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. And I mean, what are the chances that a team's going to get 30 years, back to back Hall of Fame level quarterbacks, and then
we had Todd Collins, for God's sake, Adam.
Jesus.
Yes. There's been a lot of scrubs who've come through the room, and you think about quarterbacks and situations, and it's no secret that I'm friends with David Carr. And I've talked about him, and we'll throw this around every once in a while. I'm like, I swear to God, like Houston was the worst thing that could have happened to you. Like, legitimately, like you go to Chicago, you win at least one Super Bowl. I'm gonna say maybe two. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, and I'm not doing that because he's my friend. But I'm like, dude, like
father
a
said the
player
same
like you
thing.
would have made such a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Sorry, I cut you off, or did he freeze?
No,
Did I freeze again?
No,
It's my internet.
no. Oh, I cut you off, but I wanted to say my father said the same thing about David Carr. That was the worst place an expansion team putting together, and he couldn't protect it. And he took, hey, this isn't a shot at David. He just couldn't get out of the way. Like
sacked like 72 times or something like that as a rookie. It was some insane number.
Insane in the membrane.
Yeah, Derek wasn't done any favors either going to the Raiders. It's like, God, like what if you have this family and you're like, 2 of my boys made it to the NFL. I'm so proud of them. One of them's going to Houston and one of them's going to the Raiders. Be like, fuck it, I want at least the third. At least Darren's a coach and like is doing fine. He didn't have to deal with all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, it just goes to show, and it just the situations those guys were put in. It's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Fields family going to Cleveland to watch Justin's first career start. So happy, and then Nagy does. It's just I don't.
It's like, oh, by the way, we're not going to block for him. We decided to not block for him.
Yeah, what a game plan.
That's a rule.
That was probably the worst game plan you've ever seen since David Carr was in Houston. That's a true story. The reality though with Justin Fields, you know, I've been always just being what I believe. Like, this has been the hardest player to analyze because of the lack of support. So this becomes the most pressure that anyone could handle because, you know, everything's fine in July and August, but when the lights come on, this is going to have to be Justin's show. And you, me, and Shane believe in this guy. Justin now has to take that torch and go out there and play the way he knows he can. And that's where I'm like so excited and anxious at the same time. Like, we are going to see Justin Fields, the quarterback this year, because I just see all the haters waiting in the trees, just waiting for him to fail. And it's unfortunate that we live in this environment now, but that's where it is. And I'm just so rooting for this kid to shut everybody up. Where are you, Adam, with this?
Well, you know, we talked about this, and Carmen and I were going back and forth about how you evaluate Justin Fields this season and whether wins matter or not. And I'm actually of the mind that wins will matter for Justin Fields, because last season there were games where our dog shit defense actually did make a stop, and they put the ball into his hands with an opportunity to go out there and win a football game. And I don't need to tell you, we lost 11 in a row. So it didn't get done. That is not going to be good enough this season. You know, and I will go back and say, look, you know, there was the fumble in Minnesota. There was Darnell Mooney not making the catch against the Commanders. We could go through and nitpick it. But now those excuses have been erased. We've now brought in DJ Moore. This is outside, unless something terrible happens to DJ Moore, or whatever it is. Or if you lose games like they lost to the Steelers 2 years ago on Monday Night Football, where Justin does rally them, and the defense gives up a touchdown in 20 seconds. And you're like, well, that's not Justin's fault. The win and loss doesn't matter there. He's got to take advantage of those opportunities in the 2-minute drill, that if they are presenting him with a chance to win the football game, he has to win the football game. It's not going to be, I'm not going to put up with like, well, it needs to happen. Now, a lot of it too, I thought that Luke Getsy could have done a better job of like, let him run. You got 2 minutes. Like, let him run for 20 yards. Like, it's fine. Like, let the clock bleed. Who cares? You don't want the defense back out there. Right. You don't want him scoring too quickly anyways. Like, let him run. Like, F it. Like, just go. He's gotta capitalize on those things. And I think that for a lot of Bears fans like myself who feel a Philadelphia, like not the Eagles, because I feel like the Lions are kind of a blueprint of the way that they finished last season, but I think we'd have a better chance of making the playoffs just because I think Justin Fields is a better quarterback, and we should be a better team. We should be better defensively. And so I do believe, like, you got to kind of win. Like, I'm not willing to just be like, well, because if he makes progress, like we think he's going to make progress, we're going to win games. Like the Patriots didn't make the playoffs last year because we beat them. We need more instances of that and not of like, well, it was a close contest and we'll get them next time. Like, no, you got to start finishing off these games. You don't have to necessarily make the playoffs, but you got to show that you can finish off these games. We will have a sense of it. Week 18, as they're rolling in and rolling into Green Bay. We will know at that point, like, whether he's our quarterback or not. Are we playing for Caleb Williams or not? So I do believe that that's where I stand. And I think that it's and listen, I don't think that there's anybody who's been more of a vocal supporter in the national media than me for Justin Fields. But even I can be a rational human being and be like, like, you got to go prove it now. Like, I got you. Like, I'm not going to let people talk shit on you. But now you have to reward my faith and the faith of the Chicago fans and go out there and win some of these. Not all of them. I get it. It's a young team that's in a rebuild. But you got to go out and start winning some of these games.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the one thing, my one saving grace with Justin Fields and his tenure in Chicago, looking back at Jay Cutler, who had the high upside, but you were always waiting for more. You would see it. He would have that San Diego game, and you're like, here we go. He's unlocked. This is the guy we've been waiting for. And then we'd get 3 or 4 games of 2 interceptions in the first half, and then another one in the fourth quarter. I've seen wow plays by Justin Fields in every single quarter that he's played in the NFL. I didn't see that from Jay Cutler. I didn't see that from Mitch Trubisky. Liked some of the things that they did. Justin, I just think it's critical. And listen, this isn't rocket science. Adding more around him, is going to obviously elevate his play. And I'm not worried about the kid's work ethic. I'm not worried about the media pressure being too big for him. This kid has been born and bred in this. He's been inside this volcano his entire life. He's went up, he's done it all. He's been MVP at every level. And the more talent that the Bears add, I think he's going to ascend even more. And I would be a lot more worried if he went in lulls. I mean, if you look at the talent that, like Adam, you brought it up. He's throwing to Equinemius St. Brown, who is in jeopardy of even making this roster this year. Simba Webster was a 3rd down target at the end of the season last year. Who else has that? And he's still going out there and making wild plays, not just with his feet. There's throws every quarter. You're like, holy shit.
There was a lot of drops.
That's the thing. Well, that's a good point too. And again, I'm not trying. I hope I did not come off as negative.
No,
I'm not
you
doubting
didn't.
him. I have no doubt. But what you're saying though is one of the things I think people don't understand is that he has the throws. Like, he makes wild throws in addition to plays. Like, obviously everybody remembers these. And when we cut up highlight reels, it's always like, it's always some great run. A lot of his throws don't get glorified because they're, again, stone hands. Featherstone from Necessary Roughness is out there trying to catch it with a cinder block. Like, we can't put that on a highlight reel, but they exist. And their throws are like, God, that any other guy outside, like Horsted was like the only one who could make these great. The tight ends were doing a pretty good job of wrangling those in. But he's making throws, and I get that. And I'm as I say everything that I was saying, I'm confident that he's going to do it. That's my thing. But he still has to do it. I'm confident he's going to do it, but he still has to do it.
I don't know what's going on with your mic. You're popping like soda pop back in the 80s.
I think it's from the earbuds.
Is it from the earbuds?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm in a bad situation right now.
I know. I just, I got to keep it 100 on the show. You're bringing more truths to the show. than the Indiana Jones series. So I need the clarity in your mic. I don't know what is going on. It's clipping, it's popping, it's peaking, as Ivan, the producer, would say. It's peaking. I turned your volume was set at 143. I'd never seen it. So I tried to turn it down. And Rank has Ted Phillips audio.
How dare you?
I don't know. I gotta let you know. Maybe there's the gain on your mic.
I had to shut down the computer because it wasn't working.
Maybe
And
that's
I'm on the iPhone now. So as you can see, I don't have my usual.
It's your earbuds then.
Yeah, it's the earbuds.
Yes.
It's the earbuds. I'm just letting him know. Just letting him know.
If you need me to bounce.
No.
We can definitely deal with it.
I'm dealing with it. I just didn't want it to be something like we keep it 100. Then you'll have some asshole. But Phil and Shane didn't tell him about his fucking mic.
I'm well aware of how terrible it is right now.
I am focused on the fact that you fix the internet, come back on the show and drop knowledge, but the show must go on, as they say. I look at this football team and you talked about DJ Moore, but I really want to talk about the guy that I think is going to outshine him and a lot of other people. And I believe that is Darnell Mooney. And I believe this guy is going to come in. I've already seen him. He's put on like 15 pounds. He's yoked up. And I know Shane is nervous bringing Nathan Vasher, but Nathan Vasher never was fast. This dude is fast. And the ankles, what it is, he's coming up on a contract year. You do the fantasy stuff. We never really talk fantasy football on this show, but what are your thoughts on him and his ascension? I just think there's a natural connection of Justin and Mooney that's not being talked about a lot because DJ Moore, rightfully so, deserves a lot of credit. But I was listening to Pat the Entertainer. I'm listening to these guys, and they keep forgetting Darnell Mooney here. And I believe he is he's like Curtis Conway and DJ Moore's Jeff Graham. All of a sudden, we got this passing attack with Eric Kramer. No, we got Justin Fields now. So what are your thoughts on Mooney?
I'm a huge fan, and I know for fantasy purposes, which a lot of people care about, I don't think that there's going to be enough targets to warrant him being a start each and every week. But for Bears fans, we don't give a shit about that. What we need is DJ Moore to be moving the sticks. And we've seen this time and time again when you have these elite level receivers. We see Tyreek Hill go out there and do it and open things up for Jalen Waddle. And I think it's going to be a very similar situation here. Is like it might not happen every week, but there are going to be plays that when you think you have the Bears bottled up, Darnell Mooney makes a huge move. And it's one of those things that, again, it's frustrating for the fantasy enthusiasts, but for the Bears, you're like, as long as he's coming through and he's making these plays, DJ Moore is going to be our target leader. He is going to be the guy getting the most consistent targets, the most consistent yards, but the guy who's going to be making exciting plays. When we cut up Justin Fields' highlight reel next season, with all the passing thing, the top plays will probably be to Darnell Mooney and him stretching the field. Not that DJ Moore won't catch bombs or do something spectacular, but it will be Darnell Mooney who's going to end up getting a lot of one-on-one coverage, split the seam, go deep, and obviously Justin Fields can throw the deep ball. I think Tyler Scott warrants mentioning in that respect as well. I know, again, the fantasy dorks try to make too much like, I got to get him. I'm like, I don't necessarily have to get him in fantasy because when he scores 4 touchdowns this year, that's going to be fine for me. Like, I don't care. 4 or 5 touchdowns. You might be disappointed because you wasted an 8th round pick on him. I am just going to be enjoying watching him score touchdowns for the Bears. So I think that this wide receiver room as a whole, and again, Chase Claypool's there. Chase Claypool's doing is going to be given an opportunity to do some things. I can't wait to see what he does. I think Pro Football Focus has our wide receiver room at number 13, up from 32 last year to 13. Yeah. I will take that every day of the week.
Adam, if Chase Claypool goes out and plays the way that we all hope him to play, and kind contract time comes up and it's Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have a whole lot more invested into Chase Claypool. Ryan Poles' staff traded for him. Yeah. Darnell Mooney was drafted by Ryan Pace in that regime. What is your thoughts on that? If he goes out and has a nice season, that whole pressure between Darnell versus Chase Claypool and moving forward.
Yeah, there's I think that's one of the things about Tyler Scott is he coming in? Is he drafted with the Darnell Mooney could be leaving type of situation unfolding? Is that what they envision him for the future, of being the next Darnell Mooney? And you would hope, I think every player or every fan always hopes that everybody can come back. If everybody's contributing, we want them to come back. I would look at it this way of who's been the most consistent guy over the years? And even though last year Darnell Mooney was thrust into a position where he was expected to be the 1A, and it didn't quite work out the way that we expected, I think he's got more on his resume. Unless Chase Claypool's going out there and being fantastic, he just blows everybody out of the water, then I think that if you had to choose between the two, I think it would be Darnell Mooney. And I know a lot of people will look back at the trade, and they'll say we gave up. Okay, we gave up what we gave up. And so we will be watching with great interest with what Joey Porter Jr. does. But I will tell you this right now. If Tyreek Stevenson ends up outplaying Joey Porter Jr., which I anticipate him doing, I am going to be a dick to so many people. You are not going to want it. You're not going to hear the end of it from me, because that's what matters. That's what ultimately matters. And if Gervon and all those guys end up playing well, you don't want to be around me, because I'm going to be unstoppable.
I want to just double back and double down. There's a certain thing that I see on tape that Darnell Mooney has that Claypool never has had. And that's the moments where the ball is away and Mooney is attacking aggressively in the blocking game downfield. Mooney's a team guy. And I feel like he is going to be the man this year. I'm serious. I believe that this guy is going to outshine even DJ Moore with Justin Fields. So Adam's been on with me where I made these gut based on the tape before, even about a coach that Adam loved. So I'm going to just say, I'm telling you now, Darnell Mooney, you love him away from us.
I still love him. Well, listen, he just wasn't a great coach. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. It doesn't mean he's not a quality human being.
Yes, it's okay to love him if he's gone.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's fine. I'm happy for him. Good for him. Okay. Not everybody can be a good head.
He's the play caller in Kansas City.
Hey, listen, not everybody can make that transition. If you ask me to be the coach of the Chicago Bears, I might not fare as well. I might flame out like Matt Nagy did, but that doesn't mean I'm not a good person or I'm not a fine fellow. I can't spin a yard, whatever. It is what it is.
Hey,
if you want me to bench press 500 pounds, I'm not going to be able to do that. That doesn't mean that I'm not a delight at gatherings.
Who wouldn't want you at a gathering? Everyone's gathered here to see you tonight. Here talking Chicago Bears. If you're just tuning in, it's the great Adam Rank from the NFL Network. His internet went down. He recoiled. He comes back. His mic issues drum up. He doesn't give a shit. And that's what I love.
I'm not listening to this. I'm just talking. That's on you. Figure it out. You figure it out, not me.
How tuned in are you to Bears preseason football? Are you like me and Shane? Just listen, I'm watching everything. I want to see the rookies. I want to see what's going on. Or are you going to watch a Broadway play in the third quarter? What's your take on it?
I want to see the rookies. I want to see the young guys. I want to see what Sewell does. I mean, that's where Jack Sanborn came from last year, and you go out there and you start to unearth these guys. You're like, okay, that guy's a player. I remember Kylie Pitts a couple of years ago. I was hoping like there were players who I have interest in that I will want to see and what they're able to do. And when is Tyler Scott getting into the game? When a lot of these guys, even the defensive tackle we took in the 7th round from
our guy Travis Bell.
Travis Bell.
I
want to see what he's going to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? I love it. No. I love it. Like other teams, I might not give as I might not care as much. Right. I might not be sitting around watching the Titans in the 4th quarter, but I will be watching everything. No, it's no disrespect to the Titans.
No, I agree.
Once I've seen what I need to see from that team, although their quarterbacks are going to be, I don't know. See how much Will Levis plays. So I might actually, that might have been a bad example right there. Carolina. Once Bryce Young sits down, I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. That's probably the worst. Like, if we were to pick the worst matchup on Monday Night Football, if you could think, what would be like the worst matchup?
In a preseason game?
Yes. In a preseason or any. Let's do regular season. What's a terrible matchup in your mind? I don't know why the Jaguars always come to mind for me.
Oh my God. I would not agree with that.
Not
the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, they're good. But remember like the Thursday night tradition of having the Jags and Titans in like late December? I always kind of liked that. I always thought it was a fine tradition. Like, I know we got to get these teams on prime time.
Mel Tucker was the head coach that night, probably.
Yeah.
Remember that?
So
oh man. Listen.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the running back position with the Chicago Bears. Your thoughts on that? You got Herbert, Deonta Foreman. You got the rookie Rashawn Johnson out of
the franchise pillar.
The pillar. You also have Alex Acevedo's boy, Travis Ebner.
No,
Travis
Treston Ebner.
Treston Ebner and Travis Homer. So you got 5 guys, not the French fry or burger joint, but 5 guys right there with the Bears. As you look at it, honestly, what are your thoughts there? Is Herbert the guy, or are you more you've seen this Deonta Foreman?
I don't know. Like, this is the thing. Like last season, the Bears had 5 games where they had a runner top 100 rushing yards. 3 of those were Justin Fields, one by David Montgomery, one by Khalil Herbert. Foreman, in limited time after Christian McCaffrey was traded away by the Panthers, had 5 on his own. And I don't know, and this is the fantasy analyst in me bubbling to the surface. But that's the thing. It's like everybody who's a fantasy person is convinced themselves that Roquan Johnson's going to be the guy that they're overdrafting, which is fine. I like him. I think he can be a very valuable piece, to the point of like, I was in a dynasty draft where I don't know how this happened, but I was able to make my first pick, but the rest of them, I had to rank my players there on autumn pick. And for some reason I got Quentin Downs. And so I went to the guy who had Roquan Johnson, who picked him after I would have picked. And I'd be like, hey, you know what? There was a mistake with this piece of shit sleeper app. And I probably shouldn't say that. I might have to work for Sleeper this season.
Cut that.
That still hasn't been settled. But so I go to him and I go, listen, I made a mistake, and let me give you Quentin Downs for Roquan Johnson. He's like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. You got no way. I'm like, you didn't even draft him in the first round. It's a second round pick. Like, fuck off. Like, just give him to me. No, this guy. I'm like, shut up. So I look at average draft position. And again, this is the luxury that we have as Bears fans. Like, I don't care. I don't care if all 4 of them rush for 65 yards per game and you don't get to pick a guy, and this guy's frustrating. Like, everybody always made fun of, like, the Patriots running backs. Like, I hate the Patriots running backs. I'm like, yeah, they win Super Bowls. I don't think that Johnny in Southie doesn't give a fuck if James White is winning your fantasy league or not.
Right.
You know, Willie from Worcester is he's fine. You know, Caden, guys, he's killing me. This running back, the Boston, I'm crying like a bubbler. I got to go to the Packy early here in the morning.
They were so happy they had Woodhead. How could they not?
Danny Woodhead, like all this. I hope we have that kind of obnoxious backfield. I really do. I think that any one of these three guys, and I would tell anybody, like, don't leave your draft. Don't let those guys, those top three guys, don't let them be on the, and it is basically Herbert and Foreman. Don't let them be on the waiver wire, because either one of those guys could end up being the person, and it wouldn't shock me. And I would be like, okay, it's Foreman. Like, all right, like that doesn't surprise me in the least. It's Herbert. I'm in. Rashawn Johnson, that kind of, validates all those fantasy dorks who are like, I got to have him in my dynasty league. And I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to try to get him on my squads, but I'm happy if any one of those three, and I think we'll end up being a pretty good rushing team. And you still have Justin Fields. It'll be like, the Ravens kind of do this stuff too, where the Ravens will just roll out Gus Edwards.
Right.
J.K. Dobbins pops up every once in a while. They always have some rando who also shows up. Travis. I was thinking of Travis. Who was that guy? Oh, my God. There's been some obscure guys for the Ravens, but Gus Edwards is always one of them who just always figures to be in the mix.
Gus Edwards always getting in the mix. Getting the ball. Justice Hill, right?
Justice Hill. There was a kid from Cal who was very good. Who was very God, I can picture. I've talked to him. Picture his face. Yeah, Justin Forsett. Yeah, Justin Forsett will come out.
Yeah.
So if we have that kind of annoying backfield, I'm cool with it. And it doesn't matter how it gets done, as long as we're being able to run the football, sets up the pass, scoring inside the red zone. All that stuff is great for me. And if it doesn't help your fantasy team, here's me not caring. Tough shit. Go draft Saquon Barkley.
So, Adam, where did you fall in line with the Roquan versus Edmonds? I know a lot more goes into it, but all things being equal, would you rather have Roquan on this team over Edmonds? Considering the 6'5" versus 6'1" and 100 million.
What is the comparison? Like, which guy is the better player, or what you got for each thing?
Well, no, I mean, clearly you got more with the Edmonds end of it, with everything else that was coming in, because you got Tyreek Stevenson, you ended up getting TJ Edwards on top of it. But if you're just going to take both of these linebackers,
Dexter factors into that as well.
But if you take just both of these linebackers in this cover two defense, length is a huge part of it. Being able to close those windows down, down the seam, especially to these tight ends. That's the ultimate. I know a lot of people are talking about interceptions, and Flus is talking about the ball production and stuff like that. Nobody ever talks about passes defensed, and that's Edmonds. That's the separator for him. 32 versus I think a 35 versus 23 against Roquan. That's a big deal.
And that these coaches have the kind of player that they want in their defense, and who they think is going to end up being more productive for them. And it's kind of like when you look at wrestling, like Vince McMahon needs a big guy like Roman Reigns, who's like, this is my person, I need him. And it's not wrong, and like Tony Khan at AEW might be like, I can build a federation around Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson and people like that who are shorter, whatever. It just basically comes down to the taste. And even the thing that ESPN put out, where they're like, Roquan Smith is the number 2 off-the-ball linebacker. And then here come the fucking blog boys. Like, look at the Bears. Those fucking clowns. You're like, I'm sorry, asshole. Who is number 3?
Yeah.
Who is number 3? And who comes along who comes along with it. It's like, yeah, you can go to this wing joint and you can get 10 buffalo wings and that's fucking it. Or you can go to a place that's almost as good, but you get wings, you get salad, you get beverages. They've got a happy hour from 5 to 6. You get all these additional things. I will take that deal. I'm like, it's pretty good. It's comparable. And there will be some people who'll be like, oh, by the way, like, I like this other place even better than Fritzy Mc 10 Wings guy over here, which is like, I actually prefer the discounted place, which I feel like Shane is at right now. And that's fine. And I again, these are great conversations because we don't have shit to talk about this time of the year. Doesn't matter. Who do we got? We got Tremaine Edmonds.
Don't you feel like Roquan got more respect league wide once he got traded to Baltimore?
Oh,
that's what I feel like.
Oh my God, he's overhyped. The thing that you look at, and when I broke him down on tape, Adam, is that he clearly fits the mold of a weak side linebacker. He wants to play middle linebacker. He didn't fit in what Flus's philosophy is, and he didn't have the length. So for me, the blog boys and the PFFs who don't know what the fuck to watch on tape aren't seeing how much ground a 6'5" guy can cover. When you're playing cover 2, Urlacher obviously is the gold standard, and guess what? 6'5", that kind of length, gets his hands on balls. Eddie Jackson, hustle to the ball, get the tip drill. Oski, we're going. This guy's, just like you said, number 3. I don't know who's ranking these guys, but you're 24 years old. Let's all not forget the distraction that Roquan was in Chicago. And he needed something we don't know. For me, you're getting 2 guys that play with heart and passion each and every down. I never saw Roquan Smith on tape, even with Vic Fangio. His splash plays ended up when he was blitzing, when he was allowed to blitz. When he's off the ball, he was late. And if you're going to play Mike in a 4-3 defense and an under front, or however you're going to line him up, you got to be more than what he was given. Now, maybe it was the losing culture and the locker room was over, whatever. But I just didn't see it. I didn't see it, and I thought Jack Sanborn outplayed him every time he was on the field with a tenacious, finishing, striking power that all of a sudden Shane's 100% right. As soon as he went to Baltimore, he's the best. He wasn't the best. Like, I'm sorry. It's that same kind of bullshit. I hate it. I hate that. I really do. I'm sorry. I went on a mini rant.
Annoying. No, it's good. I appreciate that. And it is bullshit. But listen, I got to run.
I know.
I know that I had mic issues.
I know.
I went overtime.
Let me see.
And I was
Orca. We never talked about the Orcas.
Oh, were we going to talk like the Orcas? By the way, I'm Team Orca. Mind you. I like Orcas. Like, there's so many people who go out there and they're like, someone's breaking into my house. I'm pulling out my AR-15. I'm fucking smoking them. They're the same people that are upset that the Orcas feel the same fucking way. But they just take care of it themselves. They don't need weapons. They are their own weapon. And that's the thing that happens. And this Orca's sitting there like, oh, look at this motherfucker in a boat. Just smacks the shit. You're in his house. Yeah. That's why they'll go into the ocean. You were like, because I live here at the shore. I'm trying to ingratiate myself to the East Coasters here. I'm like, I'm like, no, there's too many things out there that want to kill me. They don't want me there. They've warned us time and time again. And they're the person that's just like, no, fuck this. And I had a dream that an orca was chasing me. Like, this is the way it's become. Like, an orca was just like, I think this orca is being a dick. Like, I think he's coming after me. And I just got out of the pool. Well, it was in a pool too. It's like, I'm in a pool. Like, I'm not in your ocean. How did you get a pool? I love the orcas.
We got to get you an Orca shirt.
Team Orca.
Orca.
Get out of his house. Get out of his house. Stand your ground. That's what the Orca's doing. The Orca's standing his ground. Oh, Mike North, don't let him hear this. The Orca's standing his ground.
Exactly.
And you know what? The Orca's not sneaking up from behind either. It's right in your face.
Yeah, he's not afraid.
Trying to hide. Showing up. You're on a boat. I am a boat. Boom. Take you down. Take down our machine. They outsmart our engineering. Bringing them down. I love it.
I love
need
you.
More Orca attacks.
I love you,
I
Adam.
love you guys. No, I love
Thank
you guys.
you. Thank you for jumping on tonight to get us ready. The first ever guest on TTNL Network.
Yep.
Right here. A friend.
A privilege.
I love you so much. Thank you for giving us some time tonight. You're making the tour tonight. We got to get you.
It's a big day.
It's a big day. You finished on top, just like you always do now.
I wasn't wearing a hat and I got sunburned. Like, it's crazy. I got caught.
I just am fighting with the NFL. I'm fighting with the NFL media because you fans have a voice. I need Adam Rank on Total Access or Good Morning Football every day. More Rank, just like Team Orca, I'm Team Rank.
And thank you much. Well, listen, the people at iHeartRadio told the NFL, like, oh, Adam Rank moves the needle for you. And it doesn't move the pen for them signing the checks. So
we're
who knows
it here?
Who knows?
Team Rank. He moves the needle.
Promise me you'll follow me wherever I go, please. That's all I ask.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely will.
You're the best, man. And I'm not saying that. I'll say that when you're off the air too.
That's fine. That's fine.
Even when I'm at the local shop, I'm gonna say it.
You can when I leave, you can be like, this guy he lost me with the Orca thing. That's fair.
I actually love the Orca.
It's honestly fair. I understand.
Cornelius agrees. More Rank. Can we make a More Rank t-shirt, Ivan, on TTNL? All right.
Unless that dragon was fucking a goat.
What is that? What just happened?
Oh, it doesn't work on his iPhone.
Because you don't have the iPhone. You can't hear the great drop.
It was if that dragon was fucking a goat drop from one of your earlier appearances.
Unless that dragon was fucking that goat.
Now we got orcas and dragons.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Right. Much love to all your families. And let's talk soon. We got to figure out a weekend. We need to get there. Yes. I don't know how easy it is for everybody to get to Chicago. I got to figure out a weekend, and they haven't done the preseason schedule, have they? Have they dropped that?
Yes, they did.
Okay. I'll figure out.
But
I'll figure out a time to get out there.
Let me ask you this real quick. Are you coming to the East Coast at all?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll see.
I don't know. If I knew. I mean, this is the time of year that they used to send me to Good Morning Football, but there were some changes made at the NFL Network, so whatever.
More Rank fans, tag the NFL Network.
That's right.
It does move the needle. You're the best, Adam. We'll talk. We're coming out to Chicago at some point this season, and hopefully we can make you be a part of the TTNL party.
I would love it.
It's going to happen in Chicago.
I would love it.
All right, brother.
Let me know.
God bless you.
All right.
Thanks,
all
man.
my love
Bless
to
you
your
guys.
family.
Thank you.
Go Bears.
Bear down.
At the great Adam Rank of the NFL Network. There he goes, Shane. I love this dude.
Oh yeah, he's always great, man.
No matter what, even if he has,
you gotta love the guests where you can just kind of sit back and just let him go, and he's always going to be funny. It's always going to be on point. But
the king of analogies.
The Orca talk. I mean, we've really covered it all tonight. Jeez.
Olives, orcas,
yeah,
Tupac. What else did we cover?
Unless that dragon was fucking a goat.
Right, dragons. Good timing on that.
We haven't talked about pancakes.
You know what the best thing about
I forgot all about that.
Darnell, right?
Ivan sent me an email, and I looked at it, and I was so busy
clip
getting
it better.
Stuff.
I don't want to unveil this.
Oh no! I know, but I'm just
got
saying,
it
kind of behind the scenes.
Oh,
I'm just looking at Ivan while I'm talking about this, and then I got on the fucking play, and I'm like, shit, I didn't look at Ivan's email, and I sit there playing it, and he was like, what the fuck are you laughing at? I'm like, pancakes.
Pancakes.
He had no idea.
We're gonna unveil this.
Yeah.
We're gonna unveil this. Not tonight, though. I see it loaded up there, but I want to make sure it's perfect. I didn't see this one. I'm nervous. Shit. I don't want to start.
Never nervous, Purvis.
Oh, Purvis Ellison. What was? Is that his name?
Look
at
you.
His name? That was his name.
Shit.
Holy shit! I'm
impressed. Never nervous, Purvis Ellison.
I love that
God,
nickname.
damn.
But seriously, we're in July. We're coming off our first vacation week on this show in 3 years. That says a fucking lot. Then we come back and bring the guy who was our very first guest to kick off. You know, the Bears haven't even played yet. People are going to share videos. They're going to share thoughts. They're going to share bullshit like Justin on 7-on-7 looked awful today. And you're going to flip out. You're going to flip out. You're going to have all this shit. But at the end of the day, just remember the TTNL, the tape never lies. What they do in practice doesn't matter. You're coaching your quarterback. I don't give a fuck if it's covered. Throw the ball because I want to see if Mooney is going to go up and get it. I want to see if Tyler Scott is going to show that he belongs on this fucking. Just throw it. This is Al Davis. Just throw it, baby.
Well,
all of these beat writers that are going to fucking manipulate you.
The point where everybody is so starved for anything.
Oh my God. I'm
Bears related. You know, you're going to get the Justin was 7 for 11, you know, in the red period today, and people are going to start flipping out.
Missed a wide open.
Yeah.
Kari Blazing game in the flat. He missed them.
Yep.
Okay, good. That's my teaching moment for my quarterback, because the last time, and I'll say that I'll just throw a name, Vincent. I see Vincent in the chat. Vincent Bernal. The last time a throw in practice mattered will be the first time, because I'm just queuing you up for the disaster that I already see on Twitter that people are sharing me. I'm already seeing the setup of other networks and how they're going to cover your Bears. And some of these people, not you TTNL fans, are so inundated with getting poked that you're going to have to strike back. That's what they want.
No, it is. And you're right. And that's why I brought up the Roquan to Baltimore thing, because like I said,
it's the truth, bro.
Him getting more respect going to Baltimore is the same thing. It's Chicago is a huge market. We all know that. Rabid fans. And when they can literally poke the bear, the fan base, the Bears having a shitty quarterback situation sells. It's low-hanging fruit that everybody reacts to. And that's why. I mean, and honestly, it reinforces my belief in Justin Fields, because he's not fragile. He's not worried about the TVs in the complex being on. When he's up there talking, I've heard him go at reporters and not say, "Oh, I'm going to have to go back and look at the tape on that because I'm not really sure."
Right.
He'll point it out live, and no, you're actually not looking at that the right way. That wasn't the play at all. That's what you want from your quarterback. And I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready to go. Like I said, we had a few days off, but I'm ready to crank this up and get going. And
the only thing that sucks is that you and I can't cover camp.
Yeah.
If the Bears hired Shane and I to cover camp, oh my fucking God.
Night, everybody else.
You would fucking get the coverage that you wanted. And it's unfortunate. We brought it up with George, and I just don't think they get it. but you got to know the game of football if you're going to fucking break down tape. Like sitting with Eric, I know Claudio had to go, but sitting with Eric Clemens, who's been around ESPN he's been around Madden and all these. He's like, I learned more from TT with you breaking down the tape, even when I thought you were being too. Then you're right, you're fine, and all of these other people are taking from TTNL, and I'm like, you know what? I'm loyal to you guys, and to hear someone that I grew up listening to this man. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight, but it wasn't to blow smoke. It was just a thank you in person. And I've gotten that. And Ivan, you and Cherie have witnessed fans come up and say, bro, I thank you, mean a lot. And you and Claudio and Cherie and fans of you guys saying, thank you, Ivan, for that's what this network's about. That's what we'll always be about.
You can ask my son, Phil. We were lucky enough to have the lightning lane passes for Riley's trip. And I mean, if you've never been, I mean, there'll be like a 3-mile long line for a ride. And you get to go to the lightning lane and you veer off, and there's a whole different section where you're walking by hundreds, thousands of people that have been waiting at bacon in the sun all day. And Riley and I I forget which one it was. It might have been the log ride where you go up and down and then down into the water and get soaked. But we were going to get to see exactly who it was, but I had my TTNL hat on. We're sitting there walking through the lightning line. All of a sudden I hear dude say, TTNL, and I just
really,
Riley's like, that's crazy. But
I met someone at the water park too that was a fan. I didn't even get to tell my wife that story yet, but it is amazing, and you fans deserve a lot of credit. I honestly,
I think like I said, I'm not trying to just toot TTNL's horn, but I think the difference is, Phil, is you look at, recently we've talked about YouTube shorts and TikTok videos and stuff like that with TTNL, something that we haven't focused too much on. Well, there's going to be a much bigger emphasis on that with TTNL moving forward, because it tracks people, are on any mobile device, and it's quick, and they like these little 30-second clips, and keeping it 100 is a 3-hour banger every week. But I also think that it's important to be able to have the ability to talk about the Chicago Bears and then end the conversation with a nationally respected guest that's also a Bears fan like Adam Rank, and talk about orcas killing people. You know what I mean? It's totally off the beaten path. And that's why when we tell everybody there's no blueprint for this, Ivan and Phil and myself Cherie didn't sit down and say, we're going to talk about olives for 15 minutes. A lot of shows do that. Or if you do veer off of the blueprint, they're completely lost, and people are melting down in the background with their gel markers and crying to the presidents. But it happens. You forgot about that, didn't you?
I did, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but
to your point,
but it matters, man. It matters to be able
fans
to
were
shift.
Involved with the olives too.
Yeah, it's an audible.
Two that are pissed.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. There's an audible, and it's all of it is relevant. It's not just all Bears all the time. It's real life things. We talk about our struggles with our family, with our parents getting older, with our kids, and on top of it, we're centered around the Chicago Bears. That's why everybody is here in the chat room. I talked to Cars a little bit earlier. Cars Keys next week. We're going to be back. We're going to have a show next week for everybody. So get prepared for that. We'll be unrolling that for everybody, getting everybody ready for the preseason and camp opening up. But man, it's a beautiful time of year, man. I'm so excited. Got a lot going on. Just went on vacation, getting back, and my family's going to be leaving again here in about a month for 3 weeks, so I'm going to be flying solo doing that, which sounds pretty fucking nice. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll talk about that later. I think they're all sleeping right now. But no, man, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. And Bears football's back.
Camp is right around the corner. I'm preparing you for the mayhem, not Mr. Mayhem, who's in the chat, but the mayhem of the social media coverage. And listen, there's the great guys that understand, hey, I don't know anything about football. I just am filming a play. And that's where they stay in their lane. When someone is trying to pretend that they know and is flipping back and backpedaling, that's where the misinformation. So stay locked in here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Smash the like button. Someone get us back on iTunes. For God's sake, if I get another fucking DM about this podcast show on iTunes, get us back on iTunes and give us a 5-star review there. Let other Bears fans know about TTNL. And if you really want the in-depth analysis, go to the tapeneverlies.com, where we're going to be breaking down the tape for the truth that you saw many years with Draft Dr. Phil's The Tape Never Lies series. That'll all be on Patreon. Yes, Shane is 100% right. In fact, I owe Sean Stewart an apology. I know he's reached out. He's actually wanting to do some of these, but we're really pushing to find social media, guys that understand the importance of reels and highlighting this show, because as Shane said, it's a 3-hour show with gold in it. It's important to find those clips to share with people that don't know about this network and the truth and the things that you learned, and someone gets intimidated by 3 hours. So we're going to do a better job of cutting, highlighting, and doing these things. But if you're into the analysis and in-depth learning of football, even if you're we've had, I'm not even kidding you, hundreds of coaches reach out. Thank you so much for breaking this down. How do you? And that's what we do. You got my father, Coach Toshin Sr. You're going to have Chris Zorich, former Bears defensive tackle, 3-time All-American at Notre Dame, big Star Wars fan, Chris Zorich. Eric Kramer, the former quarterback of your Chicago. Oh, by the way, most passing yards in a season, Eric Kramer for the Bears, on here breaking down tape with us. All of that. You got Cars, Keys. We even bring an analytical approach to some of our tape breakdown where the numbers actually match. And Cars doesn't say the best ability is availability. You actually watch it. And then you have all the other stuff that we're going to be doing here at TTNL. We got my man, the great producer, Ivan Vargas. You got Caden Whitlow. You got Ron G making these beautiful backgrounds. Look at Ivan giving a thumbs up in this fucking background up top. There's someone missing in that background. Oh, man. But yes, I'm just doing what we need to do to let you know, as Vito is saying, the best $7 he'll spend. Listen, my wife spent $7 at the fucking water park for a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. I think we gotta.
You're on mute, Shane.
Look at Ivan.
Yeah, look at Universal Studios. 4 beers, $60.
Yes. 4 beers,
$60.
Let me do the math here.
Yeah.
4 into 6 is 1. You got a remainder of 2. That's $15 a beer.
Yeah.
$15 a beer.
Yeah. And
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm raising our patronage to $15.
Yeah, so you can pay for our beer. Right?
When we all go to Disney together, $15. Next week, I am actually taking a break with my wife, so I won't be on the show next week, but Shane will be here, and you'll have a super guest, Herb Howard.
Yeah.
Of It's the Bigs will be here, jumping in with Shane, talking Chicago.
I don't think you're talking too much, Herb. This is my time to shine, man. Shut the fuck up, Herb.
There he is. Eric Clemens on cue. Bring up that picture again. Modern pizza. Guess what? This is a perfect segue, Shane. We got breaking news here at TTNL.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network. Breaking news.
This weekend, Shane.
Uh-oh.
It's finally coming to a front. The great Yoko is traveling the seas to Connecticut in the airwaves. And he's going to Modern Pizza to follow in the footsteps of the great Eric Clemens to come to Connecticut. We're going to take him on the tour, Shane.
What night is this?
Can you get down here Saturday?
I could.
Dude, Jim Larison in the house.
Yeah.
He's coming down this Saturday. I think he's getting here in the, I don't know, or like 11, 12, that time.
Actually.
But we're not going to Modern until later in the day.
Yeah, Riley has a speech, if you can believe that he
speech
has to give. Yeah, it's for Make-A-Wish came to him and talked to him about they have a big function up here where we live in Clayton at the Harbor Hotel, and there's a bunch of people that come in and people that donate to Make-A-Wish.
We're doing it Sunday.
They wanted to know if Riley would get up and talk about his experience in his trip and stuff like that. So he's been a little nervous. He's not like that. That stuff never bothered me too much, but he said he's gonna do it. So I'm kind of proud of him. But I believe that's going down this Saturday. I'll have to ask Gila.
The pressure
brain is a little bit mushy. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially coming back from that fucking sun in Florida.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
Supposed to be the hottest. These past 7 days were the hottest in 100,000 years of the earth. Is that true?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, it was hot when we got off the plane in Orlando. Went and got our rental car. When I fired it up and we started driving down the road, it was 99, and by the time we got to the Polynesian, it was 103. I mean, it was pretty toasty.
But it's not just the heat; it's the humidity level in Florida that just wreck you.
So when it rained,
I laughed fucking hard at those pics of your daughter.
Dude, she was I'll have to put them up there. She was Yeah, SeaWorld. This is Emerson is SeaWorld.
Steph, look. Yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
It's different, but yeah, when you get a little bit of relief from the rain and then the fucking humidity and you get soaked and then you're dry in like 7 minutes. It gets so fucking hot. Like at a lot of these theme parks, and maybe they had them before and I just forgot because I've been there a few times. It was like $11.95, I think. You swipe your card and you go into this. It's like a photo booth, but it's a fucking air dryer. It's like a human-sized air dryer.
It just takes the humidity out, right?
But it's for people on the water rides and for people that are sweating their ass off.
Holy shit.
It's kind of disgusting when we walk by and I was like, oh, I got to go. And I'm like, I'm not paying $12 for you to fucking dry off. Come on. Jesus Christ. It's crazy.
He's not even a patron.
Right, exactly. Listen, kid, get a fucking job.
But Daddy, I want to drive off for $12. Fucking Disney, man.
Yeah.
Disney.
Oh, they get you at every end. Oh, yeah. They do, bro.
They fired everyone at ESPN.
Yeah.
They're making more money than they know what to do with. How much they fucking make a day at that park is beyond me.
Yeah, because there's like 4 different parking levels. We were lucky, like whether it be in Riley's Make-A-Wish trip, and big shout out to that organization, because I mean it's first class all the way. Like they sent a car service to our house. the guy was great. He had just driven for Michael Jordan and Bubba Wallace and Pitbull and Mike Tyson. He had just
Where's
driven
Eric Clemens for the impression?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not real cancer shit.
But they came and picked us up. They took us to the airport in Syracuse. They met us there, grabbed all of our stuff, took us through check-in, they stayed right there with us until we boarded the plane. We got off the plane in Orlando. Make-A-Wish is there. They grab all of our luggage for it. We literally did nothing. Took us to the car rental place.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
you guys deserve it.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. I wouldn't do it again and take a 2-year-old. No fucking way.
Ah, man, no way. But it is what it is, and it's a great cause. And your son had a fight. I mean,
yeah.
Again,
I got to put Larison's comment up there. I love him.
How could you not? I'm so excited. It was funny because we took Eric to Modern Pizza, and then I'm saying, well, Uncle Jim's coming. Steph starts talking about it, and Tate's like, I don't want to go to Modern again. I go, you're so spoiled.
Yeah, I know.
You're so fucking spoiled. You don't want to go to. Can we take him to Zanelli's? I go, that's not New Haven pizza. So I'm talking to him, right? And Steph's like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to take him to Zanelli's for dessert because Tate wants Uncle Jim to try the Nutella pizza. That's a dessert pizza at Zanelli's.
Isn't that what Greg Bragg's?
Yeah, he ended up taking 2 of them. He didn't like Zanelli's. I mean, he didn't like Nutella.
Remember, you guys were eating, so I called Claudio, and I'm like, Claudio, here, take my credit card info and pay for the meal.
Did Greg ever do that for you?
Braggs finds that out, and he's like, I need to get one to go too. I got mouths to feed at CHGO. He's gonna be texting right now.
Not smart. I had a great conversation with Greg the other day. It was great to catch up.
Actually, I
with him.
stayed at the Polynesian Resort. Little known fact: Barb Graham, Greg Bragg's mother, spent her honeymoon at the Polynesian Resort.
Oh, that's the juice, baby. Yo, I feel the juice in my mouth. Yo, the juice in your ass like Florida orange, baby. Yo, pulp free. Hell no, I need the pulp. Need a whole bunch of pulp in that goddamn ass, yo.
I asked them where the
Florida pulp.
Yeah,
it's right in the song.
Yeah, absolutely. I asked them where the honeymoon suite was that Barb Graham graced. And
I love all.
Off like the bathroom at Graceland where Elvis, did his thing.
Roped off, right?
Oh yeah, it's like
that's where Greg was actually conceived.
Yeah, it was. There's a picture. There's a picture of him there of Greg.
I got it up.
Sitting on Barb's lap, and it's a cute little family picture.
Hey, do all they can.
Yeah,
do all they can. I tell you, Disney cuts no corners. They'll rope off for Barb Graham.
So I know I'm probably boring people with my vacation talk.
Bears.
I got to talk about this. So we stayed at the Polynesian Resort, and they are in one end of it going into a huge expansion. So talking to this one guy, him and his family showed up. It was our 3rd day there. And he's like, hey man, where are you from? I'm talking. And he's like, you'll never believe what fucking happened. I'm like, what? He's like, we've been looking so forward to coming to this Polynesian Resort. They walk into their fucking room. He pulls the fucking blinds open, and all he sees is 4 excavators, 2 bulldozers, and a huge pile of fucking dirt. This is view. I mean, this place ain't fucking cheap either.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
that's the number one spot.
Yeah, it's
according to
crazy.
Jeff Crooms, who's a Disney
DVC. He's a DVC guy, right? The Disney Vacation Club guy.
Oh man, he knows left, right. He's giving advice.
Like, this dude marched right down to the fucking right down to the office, and he let loose, which I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too.
Did they switch his room?
They gave him they took $1,000 off of his bill. But still, even on top of that, man, I'd be pissed. You're down there, and part of the allure to that, a place like the Polynesian is the view. Like where we were, if you're not at the Magic Kingdom for the fireworks at 9:00, we can just walk out on our deck and just watch them right there, or take a boat to it. It's that's part of the package. But to walk out and see bulldozers and excavators and a fucking 18, and when I mean a pile of dirt, I'm thought this motherfucker was fucking 40 feet high. It was a massive pile.
It had a lot of topsoil.
Yeah, because we were on the monorail going to the Floridian, which is the next resort up. And I said to Eli, I'm like, look at that. I said, that's Steve's room right down there, right behind that fucking pile of dirt. I'd be pissed.
The reviews are in. Eric Clemens. Follow Eric Clemens, guys. Give him a follow on Twitter, Instagram. Good man. Big TTNL family member now, and Modern Pizza. But Shane, the guy goes up to the guy's like, listen, those are Transformers, bro. That's not a whatever backhoe. That's a fucking metal giraffe. They're trying to sell him on that shit. Anyway, jump on the monorail with Bob Loblaw and get over to the Disney Resort. I'm supposedly going in April with the boys and have them, but listen, I've said it many a time. I'm a beach guy.
You're like me. When you go on vacation, listen, I love to do the stuff with my kids, but there's also a limit to I can't do the fucking, she's too young. I mean, I'll have to share some of the other videos with her. I mean, she just, my daughter is so different than my son. Riley was always very polite, and I don't want to say shy, but very
Shane's daughter
methodical.
Minnie Mouse right in the fucking nose, almost knocked her.
Yeah, we were waiting in line for Mickey Mouse. And she's like, fuck this. And she just barged right through like 60 fucking people ahead of us. And she walks right out, and they're trying to take pictures and shit. And
she's right in the family photo.
And I don't do good in those situations when you're trying to discipline your kid. Like
in
I can
public.
be yeah. I'll be like looking at Eli. I'm like, can you fucking grab, can you take her, please? Because I'm about to put my boot in her ass and send her through the fucking, send her through this fucking wall, because shit's embarrassing, man. I feel for parents. When we were raising Riley, I was the dude sitting back and like, man, that kid's fucking horrible. Those are shitty parents. And now I have that kid. That's like that. Bitch. Yeah. I'm like, God damn it. Model.
Yeah, I got 2 of those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
they actually were pretty good.
I told Ela when we were there, and Steph told me that you guys are gonna go spring break, and I'm like, man. I said Steph is gonna sit back and take it like a champ. I said Phil's gonna lose his shit, because I mean Tate and Dev, I'm sure, can be a fucking handful.
Oh yeah,
and you get him in that situation. I mean, and especially spring break. Whoo, man, that's gonna be.
I don't know.
You're gonna have to get those fucking shot collars. Just fucking zap them if they get too far away from you.
Listen, real quick, and then we'll go to shout outs. I'm at the water park. We're at this fucking the Great Wolf Lodge, right?
Yeah.
We set up shop outside. I wish they had a fucking pool outside, but they don't. They have like one of those water pads with fucking shooting water. Everyone could cool off out there. Fountains you could walk through. It's like that deep, right? So we set up shop there. Inside, there's all these fucking water slides, wave pool, is everything. Kid, like as a kid, that would have been my dream going there with my dad. I love water parks as a kid. They had this one that you fucking go down this giant thing and you're spinning and you're going up. It's like crazy. Like Steph went out like 8 times. So anyway, I tell the kids that I'm going to the fucking lily pad. I'm just staying there. Steph told them so wouldn't you know it? Tate's great. He's going with his friend. He made friends. They made friends going around. Fuck. 3 times Devin is coming lost, crying, looking for his parents. So me and Steph look like the worst parents. Dev, how many times? I'm here at this pad. This is what you were right behind me. So Dev made friends with the Great Wolf Lodge work folk. They thought I was a bad parent, probably too.
So in like the I don't know if you'd really consider it a courtyard, but there's everything there. Emerson was having a meltdown, and I was in line because
the hotel.
Yeah, it's outside, but I mean, it's just like I'll send you a picture of the pool area. It's just is massive, and then there's a beach and everything. So I walked up to the tiki bar that's not in the pool, but the one that's just up away from the pool, and I'm holding her. And you know when your kid is really in a bad mood and they're like pushing away from you, and
oh man,
there's like 400 fucking people
bend their whole back.
Yeah, they're stiffing up, and you're like pulling them fucking tighter. And I'm like, I don't do good in those situations because I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna hit her or anything like that.
Right,
but right. I'm waiting in line to get this fucking Dole Whip rum.
Oh yeah, I've heard this drink
and I'm like, I fucking just 15 minutes in this fucking line. I'm not getting out. Just give me 10 more fucking minutes. Gee, where's her mother? So I'm fucking squeezing her. She's not I mean, she's being so forceful. She's 2. She's sweating.
She's
fucking
sweating,
dripping down off her. And I'm like,
she doesn't back down.
Oh no, dude. She's built different.
You pressure pointed her leg and everything.
Had it, and I'm fucking dripping in fucking sweat, and I'm embarrassed, trying to be this good dad. And finally, I'm like, Emerson, you are acting like the worst kid I've ever been around. And this fucking dude was right here next to me, and he's like, really? You're at Disney? And I'm like, I wanted to fucking drive him, dude. I was so
Creighton Wilfong.
I was so pissed. And I'm like, of course, this asshole had to hear this. You know.
I honestly, I don't know, man. I might have told him to go fuck himself.
Oh, dude.
Business.
You know me. Well, so here I am in Heel and Riley, and I'm like fucking gritting my teeth. I'm like, take her. I'm in line trying to get this shit, and she's like, "Why are you so mad?" He was like, "Why are you so mad?" I'm like, you know what? Fuck. I'm like, this fucking dude over here is saying shit, and I said, I'm like 2 seconds away from causing a fucking scene. I just want this drink.
Were you all loud saying that too?
Oh,
or were you whispering it to her?
No, I was probably a little bit too loud because she was telling me.
He heard it.
Tame it down. I'm like swinging my fucking arms. My magic band popped off my wrist. But yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man. It is what it is at the water park, the amusement park, Disney park. I'm sure you dads out there, and I'm not saying you moms aren't experiencing it, but you dads out there, you have a sense of control usually. But when you get to that park, it's like an audience now protects these motherfuckers.
Oh, my daughter if it was
they
just
know it.
If she was here, she may get a little bit ornery. I'm like, come on, babe, just chill. It's good. Angel, you put her in a fucking theme park with 40,000 people. Yeah, it's like, fuck you.
The heat doesn't help down there.
Oh no.
God. The humidity. I can only.
And I didn't even tell you about us losing our fucking car at Universal Studios for 90 minutes when we were trying to leave either.
Oh, I
Siri
saw that text.
I dropped my fucking pin, and the Siri took us to the wrong fucking garage. I'm going up and down and up and down. Yeah, it was crazy.
Costanza over here.
It was one of those, dude, 90 minutes before we
got my God.
In the right place. And the whole way home driving from Universal, because that you can't take the monorail to that. Hila and myself and Riley laughed our ass off the whole way home because we were right on top of each other. I'm like, at this point, I'm just ready to call a fucking Uber. They can get whatever the fuck they want. I'm going back to, fuck them. I was at that point. 90 minutes.
Everyone's pointing
90 minutes. Right.
Why didn't you take a picture?
Riley's like, I
didn't.
Exactly. And then we finally find the car. Riley's like, my feet, we 24,000 steps today. Look at my feet. Emerson's sweating, and Hila and I are sitting up front. Nobody talked while we're pulling out of the parking garage. And then we just burst into fucking laughter for like the 12-minute ride home. That's a sign of a strong family.
I need you as a scout. When I go to Disney, it's got to be perfect footwear. Because every time I go on vacation, I'll have like slides or flip-flops.
Yeah.
Or these Crocs.
Can't do it, bro.
All of a sudden, my motherfucking cut on my toe.
Yeah.
There's a cut across the brim.
I never wore
I'm
flip-flops or sandals in any theme park that we went to.
No.
Honestly, I wore fucking socks and fucking shoes, bro.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Pain in the ass. I didn't want to because I'm a slides or flip-flops guy.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. But dude, it was so fucking. I think your fucking flip-flops, like Riley had on. I didn't even pay attention. He had these fucking Jordans that he'd been wanting, and mother bought for him. So he goes and we're going on the fucking log ride.
Oh,
and I look and I'm like, your mother spent all that money on those fucking Jordans, and you wore that shit to the fucking log ride. I'm thinking to myself. And so he takes the fucking wave right to the fucking face, and then it goes straight down. We go out and it's fucking, the soggy feet. He's like, even my toes feel weird. I'm like, yeah. So we had to go buy him a pair of flip-flops while we were there that were like piece of shit flip-flops for like $60.
Oh my God,
dude! And it was a whole thing.
It's cardboard and wire for $60.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Oh, my heels got
my cut.
Yeah, this is why I didn't wear these in the first place. I wore my J's mommy bought me.
I'm getting most comfortable sneakers when I go to Disney. I'm telling you right now, it's taken a long time for me to learn my lesson wearing comfy flip-flops around the park, cutting your feet.
Oh hell yeah, it's the worst.
It's the worst. But anyway, next week, Herb Howard on Keeping It 100 with Shane Marshall, Ivan, Cherie. Will Claudio show? Will other people make an appearance next week? I have no idea. Well, I do know it's time for this.
Take Never Lies. Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew, we gotta show love too. Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew, we gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam like
the network that keeps it real. 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some, this ball signal show is at its end. But for me, it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth. No narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio chain getting nervous, cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say they get the shot of vital. But hurry up, cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out, I know you hear me, baby. Shout out, I know you see me, baby. Shout out, we gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew, gotta show love too.
You're on the air, baby. You're on. You did it. You made it.
Yes, you did it. You made it. You fans are still amazing. We had an amazing show. Where's our girl? Is she there? Did she write? No. Cherie.
What?
Also got back from vacation.
Who?
Cherie. She also just got back from vacation.
That's why I was hoping.
Cherie's happy. I'm happy.
The Mediterranean Sea. I know. The Mediterranean Sea, the Italians and Spaniards, her take on olives. She was in the Mediterranean. Where is she?
There you go. Yep, I like it.
Yeah. That was Chris in Europe.
She's a lady on a mission.
Well, we'll bring her in when she comes back. If she comes back. There. Holy.
Oh,
are
look
you
at
ready?
Her fixing her
Thumbs
hair.
up. Fix your hair.
Putting the shirt on. Oh.
There she is. Cherie. I was waiting for you. Mediterranean Sea. New hair.
Yeah.
New lease on life. How was your trip?
I had a ball.
Oh, you love balls from what I
Very
hear.
descriptive.
I love balls.
She walked right into that one.
Right.
So how was the weather, Cherie?
Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over 100?
No, it didn't get that hot. It was just there's not like where we were. There weren't a lot of places for like shade. So on top of it being hot, you really got no break. And walking around everywhere, yeah, it was just hot. No reason.
What was your favorite country?
Well, we only went to Italy and France, but we stopped in 4 cities in Italy.
Okay. What was your favorite city?
I'm gonna say Napoli.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually like Marseille, France too. I think it was beautiful there, but
did you enjoy the cruise? What was that like? I've never been on a cruise, so was it fun? Yeah,
I haven't either.
Oh,
though. Yeah, I've never been on one.
So I've only been on Carnival. This was an international cruise line. I've only been on Carnival, so I only have that as a point of reference, and it was a little different because it's international, but it wasn't what I was expecting, but I think it is because it was international. Nice. But the cruises are fun. Like I think cruises it's a cheap vacation, and it's a way to kind of stop at different places to see where you want to go back. Because I want to go back to Naples. I want to go back to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good way to kind of get a quick view, I guess, of places you may want to go back to. That's the only thing that sucks about cruises, because when we were in Rome, I wanted to see the Colosseum and the Vatican, but we didn't get to go in the Colosseum because we were pressed for time. Because when you dealing with the boat, you only have so much time before you got to get back on the ship. So
Does Rome have a port? Like, I have no idea geography wise. So where do you land to get to Rome?
So we had to take the train into Rome. Like where we port at is about an hour away from Rome.
Oh, so you're really struggling for time.
Yeah.
When do they bounce? What's the time limit on that? Like, hey, you got to be back here by 5:30.
Yeah. That day we ported at most of the times we were porting at like 8 in the morning, and we had to be back at the ship by like 5:36. So you had a full day, but if you got an hour train ride,
yeah, you got an hour. That's 2
Ratchet
hours
missed his
out.
TTNL port by 8 fucking months.
Ivan's late.
Be right back.
I just realized what he was
Play that back. 2:44. Oh my God. Watch Ivan's late reaction is classic. But Cherie, there's no AC in Europe, or is it humid?
No.
When in Rome, do as the Rome. What?
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Oh, how was it though? Seriously.
So AC wise, I will say it's not like even at the hotels that because me and one of my friends, we got in a day early, and because we had an overnight flight, we ended up getting hotels on each end. The air conditioning in the hotels is not the same as what we're used to.
Nope. Yeah, we're spoiled big time.
Yes.
Oh,
and
boy.
I was like, we were trying to turn it on full blast.
62 degrees isn't happening there, I guess.
Dude, it's like fucking, when I went to Czech Republic with Ela, they don't even have fucking ice cubes anywhere.
Yeah, no ice.
My God.
No ice cubes.
I lose it at the movie theater when there's no ice in the machine.
Like when it's fucking hot, if I don't have shit to drink, I will like lose my fucking mind.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
And I can remember with Ela when we went there in August, it was so fucking hot. We were at this place and I'm like, I gotta get something to drink. And I'm not a soda drinker normally. Well, they had Sprite, and the fucking lady brings a glass bottle of fucking Sprite, gives me a cup like this fucking big, and just like bleep, fucking walks away with the bottle. I'm like, what? I'm like, get the fuck back. I want the whole motherfucking bottle. I would have drank that in like 3 seconds. That's not the way that they work it over there.
I thought
no
you were
ice.
It wasn't cold.
Yeah, they didn't even have fucking coffee creamer. It's all the fucking powder.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. These Europeans, I tell you.
I see why they come over here and be like, you Americans are spoiled. I was
so
like,
spoiled. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ela, they're leaving in August to go over and visit her parents, and Ela's like, mom is putting in like fucking, she loves, it's funny that Adam talked about it. Like they don't have mayonnaise over there.
Yeah.
And her mom is like, you got to bring over like a couple things of mayonnaise. So Ela's got to like get fucking mayo and put it in her fucking bag, wrap it all up and shit.
Oh, jeez,
crazy.
The mayo.
Yeah.
Mayo. What happened with that? I don't understand. They don't have the mayo.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't have mayo when I was. Well, they still don't. But the big thing for me was the fucking small glass cups, and they would pour it for you and then take it. And I'm like, get the fuck back here.
Well, that's on my bucket list. Get over to Europe, see my heritage in Sicily and Trieste, Italy, and go to these places where my heritage, my upbringing, Sweden. It's even better. The black olive. It's even better. Shane got muted. Why is it muted?
Oh,
there's some new StreamYard issue.
It's done it a couple of times tonight, like after a clip, and
after a clip,
auto
it's
muted
muting us. I think it happened to me too.
Yep.
It's crazy. But anyway, any shout outs, Cherie? Glad you're back.
Yeah, sorry.
You do look brighter. Your energy, like.
This is probably that Italian sun.
Is it, or did you find an
Oh,
Italian man?
Hey.
A son of a gun in Italy?
No, I didn't. I was supposed to find a Roman gladiator and all that. I found nothing.
No.
No.
The psychic reading wasn't true.
Did you see Bratcher floating by in a fucking tube?
Hey, Tony, how you doing? On the gondola?
You see Bratcher with the hat and the striped shirt and shit.
The striped shirt like Angelo?
Oh my God.
Hey, you make a pizza, I make a meatball. We make a family together. How you doing? No, who do you got any shout outs, Cherie?
Of course I do. First and foremost, you guys, I know you had a week off, and unfortunately for Shane, it wasn't really a vacation, but I'm glad you guys took some time for yourself, some time with your families, and I hope you were able to enjoy that time off. Since we are talking about the trip, for me, I do want to shout out some of the people that made the trip fun, even like, you know, being in another country. So I met a driver named Frank in Naples.
Frankie.
He was so big on like America. He actually said he grew up in California, but his family was from Italy, so he was back in Italy.
How big was he, Cherie?
250.
But shout out to him for taking us around Naples and having an air-conditioned vehicle for us to get around in.
Those are the cars you don't want to get out of.
Right.
Like,
I thought Pompeii was nice. It was hot. So shout out to Frank. And I know I talked about the cruise a little bit. I don't want to like bash the cruise line because there were some great points of some of the people I encountered on the cruise line. Mainly the crew of the Infinity Bar. That was my hangout spot every night on the ship. So definitely want to shout them out because they kept me drunk. They kept my cup full.
Nice.
It was just a good time. They were entertaining. So definitely want to shout out Amato, Philip, Praveen, Jay, Azuradine, Chandra Sakar, Mark Anthony, Daniel, Wyan, and Johan.
There's always a Johan in Europe, I'll tell you that.
Can we get him on the show, Cherie?
If I missed anybody, and if I mispronounce any names, it's Philip's fault. So shout out to those guys. And lastly, I definitely want to shout out my friends. It was all of our first time really traveling overseas and getting a chance to experience a different culture. So I want to shout out my besties, Toya and Lenny, Toya's husband, Brandon, and my other friend, Megan, who were able to make them special memories with me. So.
Nice. Great stuff. A Philip, a Johan, can't go wrong. A full house bar. It's like a full house backfield for me, Ivan.
Oh, bro, I did that a couple of times. I'd like glance down at my phone, see what time it is, and Emerson's asleep, Riley's out, Ela's out. I'm like, I better go check the bar, make sure everybody's having fun down there.
Checking in on them, right?
Take my vacation, yeah.
Take in some vacation for yourself. Oh, yeah. I get to go on vacation next week, Ivan, as I celebrate 50 years on this planet. That's me and Steph are gonna take it without the kids in Florida. Follow Shane's footsteps.
Smart man.
I learned a lot from a dummy. From that 80s commercial. You can learn a lot from a dummy, bullets. Oh, Ivan, do you have a shout out?
Yeah, just shout out to Carlos for fixing my car today.
Yes, Carlos.
So Carlos coming through.
But
yeah, other than that, I got nothing. So good show, great show.
Great fun. Shane, shout out.
Yeah, I'll keep mine short and sweet like always. Want to shout out Make-A-Wish. Amazing trip. Like I said, I know I'm definitely not over dramatizing the struggles of taking a 2-year-old to every theme park in Florida. It is very, very hard. And it's no joke, as every parent knows, but Make-A-Wish couldn't have been better to make everything seamless for our family. awesome organization. So if, like I always tell people, if you have a couple extra bucks, throw it their way, because they do such amazing work. And part of the deal when you do a Make-A-Wish trip is they want to actually push you, if you're going to Disney, to stay at a place called Give Kids the World. And we completely left it up to Riley. It's more geared towards younger children, you know, with the characters and stuff like that, and it's fine. But Riley didn't really want to do that portion of it. But man, you have to check in there, and that's where you get all of your tickets for the theme parks, and they set you up with parking passes and everything. It's really amazing. But when you get there and you see all the kids, man, it's just as much as I was complaining about my daughter, and she's healthy and I love her, you see families. And you know, one of the boys that we were sitting with had brain cancer and had 2 massive scars from, you know, his forehead all the way down through, and he's been through 6 different surgeries and then down into his spine. And like I said, it gives you perspective. And an organization like Make-A-Wish that just has people, one of the things, like I said, at Give Kids the World, all of the people that work there, all of the workers are all volunteers. So there's a lot of older people that are retired and, you know, just giving their time, want something to do during the day. And it's really a beautiful thing. It is. And for them to be there with the kids, they have an ice cream shop. They open up at 7 a.m. in the morning, because if the kids want ice cream for breakfast, you can go there and your kids can get ice cream for breakfast. And it's very, very cool. And it's a place that I will be donating to for the rest of my life, because I see the amount of time and effort and the amount of money that they spend just to give your kids something special. If it's for, you know, for a week, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever it works out to be. So Make-A-Wish, major props to you guys. Thank you so much for giving us the trip of a lifetime. And I'm glad Riley got to experience it, and I got to experience it with my family. Definitely a beautiful time. A lot of steps, a lot of work as a parent, but definitely well worth it.
Well said. Make-A-Wish. If you are on the fence of where to donate or do something, head over there, help
absolutely
that cause out. I'm so happy that Riley got to experience that you guys got to go down there, and you'll have memories like the 90-minute search for your car.
Universal Studios. Yep.
That's really, in the moment you have these things, like Devin's moment losing us. I don't know how, but seeing him so sad and crying, I broke my heart, especially Steph's.
Yeah.
But now he knows how much we love and care. Just like I love Cherie, Ivan, and Shane. Even Claudio. But I want to shout out, wrap it up tonight. I know. Adam Rank for jumping on the show and keeping a tradition alive. Love that guy. Just a great friend and a great fan of what we do and network. He's always, as you could see, never too big for TTNL type of person. Well, he'll rock our swag on national television, or always slip a shout out to us or our kids on a show if you're paying attention to those Easter eggs. So shout out to him, and a great conversation with him tonight. I want to shout out one of my assistant coach, Lewis Ferguson, is going to be helping me coach this football team in the fall, and I'm excited about that. But he's been so helpful here at my house, helping me with this pool and stuff. I wanted to shout him out and his family. I have a great story about going to a Korean barbecue, Ivan, with Lewis.
I love Korean barbecue.
I've never been.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
I'm with Ivan on that.
I've never been.
Korean barbecue.
I'll just tease you with this. Steph and I have never been. We're with our friend Jeff. He's one of my best friends. You know, Jeff Crooms.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of TTNL. And I've never ordered at a Korean barbecue and understood anything. Now, Lewis, his wife, is Korean from Korea. And Lewis's son, Tate, he's got a son, Tate, as well, can speak Korean. So we're there, and I get the menu. We're ordering all these fucking meats and things, and I'm just putting orders in. They're just bringing shit to our table raw, just hundreds of plates. I'm like, what is going on? We're looking at Lewis is over there cracking up. But the story even gets better for when I come back, obviously. But I just had no clue, but it was amazing. Anyway, they've all had Korean barbecue. I have not. That was my first time. And I'll finish the story next time because I'm exhausted. I only can imagine how exhausted Shane is. So I got to give him this. But I wanted to shout out you guys. I'm so excited about Jim Larison coming down. I hope Shane can come down. Go to Modern Pizza.
That'd be awesome.
With us. That'll be amazing. Shout outs to all of you guys in the chat. All of you TTNL heads. I see Bullets there. Shout out to you, Bullets. Adam Jenkins. Where's my guy? Kenny Andrews. I know you're going through some stuff with your brother. Shout out to your brother and you. I know he's battling cancer. Send a lot of love to you. Where's our guy? He's back. Ben Ricketts is back. I haven't seen him. All of you guys that support TTNL, the network, the Patreon, all of the stuff that we do. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. We'll be back. I won't be back next week, but Shane and the crew will hold it down. I want to shout out last but not least my wife taking me. I didn't want like this birthday celebration or surprise birthday. I just want to chill. That's all I wanted to do. Just so slick and skinny in a hole.
Yeah.
A little of that as well would go a long way. It will. So hopefully tonight as well as next week, I'll have a good time. So I just want to say thank you to the TTNL family. Saying that now, I know we started as 100 crew. Now you're like more like 100,000 zoo of TTNL fans. So you guys are amazing. And to go on vacation like Shane did, as well as me in Massachusetts, and have people being, yo, DDP, a big fan. That stuff just is crazy to me. It's fun. And I'm glad we're going to be here covering this football team as they rise from the ashes from where they were. And we will cover it first. We won't pretend that pancakes are the most important thing that an offensive lineman can do. We will show you the tape of what's important for the offensive line, defensive line, and how these guys play the game of football come 2023. Hopefully I could be there. I know Ivan Vargas. I know Claudio's planning on going out to training camp. Alex Acevedo.
We definitely got tickets. I got the August 1st, but dude, like immediately, like if you weren't waiting if you were done. You were done. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of looked at on
tickets. Thank you. If you have tickets to preseason practice at Hallis Hall, you're not going to go. Reach out to me or Shane and let us know, because then we could send our crew over there to cover just like they did last year. Did a tremendous job. Obviously, we'll be bringing on media members as the preseason, but I want to get those guys out there, their perspective. Anybody, because it's so funny. You can hear 7 people there, and they're all telling you 7 different things. So it's like, I'll wait till the game, just like the great Dieter Eisland said. Let's wait till the pads get on. Then we'll see who's ready to play and who's not. But we'll see you all next week. Ivan, if I did snag 4 tickets to Colts practice versus the Bears. I got both days 4 tickets. So if I can't go, I'm giving them to you. But I would suggest you go. If you're a fan, send me and Shane a DM. If you're a real big fan and you want to come on the air and you're going to camp, reach out to me and Shane. We'll get you on the show for your perspective as well. That being said, we'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys have a great weekend as we get you ready for Chicago Bears football 2023.
We're back.
We're back, baby. I can't wait, right, Ted? Won't be laughing this time, Ted. You don't got anything on it. Also, what will be back is this.
Been waiting for
Bill.
He's overwhelmed. Give me some fucking names.
Every week we're gonna understand the
Give me
fucking
some
why.
fucking names.
Bears Hour Live. It'll be back right after the first preseason game. We'll be back covering this football team like nobody else. For Shane Marsaw, the smartest man, Ivan Vargas and Cherie. Oh, and Claudio the Barber, wherever he is. I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil of the Tape Never Lies.
What's up, everybody? This is NFL Network's Adam Rank.
This is Only Crooch.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Chris Zords from your Chicago Bear.
I'm Deion Miller.
Dan Weeder. Hey, man, it's Rashawn Whitfield.
I'm Courtney Cronin.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. Listen to me. You want to learn football? Listen to my guys, Phil and Shane.
Shane and Phil. Shane and Phil. Oh, Phil. On the Tape Never Lies Network.
On the Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.